Okay. Hello guys, welcome to another live stream. We are finally here. Oh my lord. अब होगी वॉच पार्टी. क्या हाल है सभी के? Let me set it up. Just give me 2 minutes. 2 minutes नहीं 1 मिनट भाई मैं. बैकग्राउंड में चलने देते हैं.
Ahead of this one, you said they get these weird rotates sometimes. This is a brilliant heads-up decision made by D Plus Kia here.
हग दिया. क्या हुआ?
Whilst they're in that fight.
मर गई वो जी.
As well. That is a little bit of relief for Goat, but still got Fabric Supermassive and Inner Circle to worry about.
एक सेकंड मेरे को एक चीज करने दे फिर मैं देखता हूँ.
In my mind, there's a world where D Plus is first place at the end.
मेरे को बस
I'm not even joking at this point in time. Okay, I'm not even joking. I do feel like it's coming. It's so weird with the South Korean squads because I think day one is always
बहुत गंदा खेला बहुत ही
day
है.
one is always terrible for South Korean squads. And they're like, we get it. I think we understand the circle, and then suddenly they start playing out of their minds. It's just so strange to me that day one's always just like a bit more of an observer day for them.
Oh well.
आवाज ऑडियो आ रही है ना? ऑडियो आ रही है ना? I think आनी चाहिए.
Moving in, the Wolves having a little bit of a clash. The perpetually sixth place team.
माइक की आवाज आ रही है.
Like you said, they do make those mistakes and need to step it up. We'll see.
क्या हुआ? यहाँ 4 बंदे.
Challenge and Bond.
एक सेकंड.
Really strong. Lot of.
अभी नहीं. हाँ यहाँ से.
I think to myself that.
ओजी के 4 जिंदा हैं. ओके आरू नॉक हुआ है. टियान बाकी उससे.
And that is the problem. You know.
यूजी ने फिनिश कर दिया आरू को. कहाँ चल रही फाइट तो देख नहीं रही.
A lot of mistakes that are made during the play. I think if they can shore up some of those holes in the ship.
Okay, QZ ने एक ओपी को भी नॉक कर दिया है. Now QZ नॉक हुए आतंकी से.
There's just these moments where.
तो मतलब एक बंदे को ट्रेड करने के लिए 2 बंदे खत्म अपने.
Comes back to bite them.
अब यहाँ पे बॉन्ड भाई चढ़े विजगॉड पे. विजगॉड वर्सेस बॉन्ड. और भाई बॉन्ड जीजी कर दिया बॉन्ड ने. जेम्स बॉन्ड ने जीजी कर दिया भाई. आतंकी होता लास्ट. आतंकी वर्सेस एचिंग और ये भी खत्म. Proper 4v4 fight again we lost. और पहली casualty किसकी? Same mistake from last.
Not so.
कितने days हो गए पता नहीं भाई.
In the team. So for the Wolves, I hope they
कोई नहीं
keep
guys,
their heads clear today.
We still have 4 matches.
The possibility for them.
भाई ये loops वाले बंदे ना चलें.
One big game. That's all they need, and then they're in the running.
Tiamba trying to move forwards. D Plus not allowing them that opportunity. D Plus keeping things going. I mean, a little bit of revitalization at first.
Hard cover ही नहीं मिल रहा अपने को. भाई मिलिट्री का जोन है. hard cover कैसे मिल जाएगा?
They're trying to convert. It seems like on the north side they have a very solid chance. Ocel's not out in the water there on that position. Don't worry. Just a little bit offset. He is on dry land. He's got dry boots for the time being. But it's all. I feel like for me, it is still reject that I'm looking at here. If they
open
can jump
up,
and maybe as a second storyline, Falcons, if they're going to be able to actually do more than stay alive with a solo and rely on Narvalo for points.
Narrage उठा रहे हैं.
Not great, is it? You know, having to basically send out Narvalo like some kind of Pokemon in the end
यार
game.
7 पॉइंट पीछे हैं अब. Okay, Luke versus Goat हो गया है. अगर अरे Goat भाई वो दोनों को के लूप्स के घुस जाओ. कोई तो घुस जाओ यहाँ. दोनों के लूप्स के घुसो कोई तो घुसो.
Narvalo uses 6 points.
यार कोई तो
super effective loops.
नीड हो जाए. अरे नहीं. और भाई बच्चा 1 HP.
भाई 1 HP.
मिलिट्री का जोन मतलब रिच का ही गेम होता है. हाँ वो तो होता है. Obvious है. भाई APG ने कितना अच्छा स्प्लिट करके बैठी हुई है. डीके को देख. भाई मैं तेरे को कल क्या बोला था? APG, Alter Ego, DK ये 3 टीम होंगी. मैं हर्ष को भी बोला था स्ट्रीम पे. आज बोल रहा हूँ. देख DK आ गई वापस. Alter Ego मर गई इसमें.
There's some tough shots for top right now. Extremely long distance, but
Falcons का मैच है ये
life hard for Tiamba.
Oh, okay. APG किस पे जाएगी? Falcons पे जाएगी या फिर?
This could be a Wolves win. It could easily be a reject win.
IC पे जा सकती है, IC पे जाएगी अब.
You can get a lot done for the Wolves. I think the unfortunate thing for them is that they're playing as 3, which makes this a lot more difficult. But I've seen a 3-man win from this spot in the
Tianwa
past.
GG bond.
It is possible.
वही 4 किल हैं Tianwa के, उसके बाद तो Tianwa भी नहीं कोई
wasn't
निकला.
on the international stage either. So we'll see how Wolves do want to play this one out. Still 9 teams remaining and almost 22 minutes into the match.
भी जीतनी चाहिए भाई, नहीं जीतनी चाहिए. फैल्कन और लूप्स को पॉइंट्स नहीं मिलने चाहिए भाई. अपना भी हिसाब देख यार यश, अपना भी हिसाब देख. ये भी नाउ इंडिया इज एवरीथिंग फॉर अस. और कोई टीम कहीं की भी हो बाहर में जाए, मैं तो चाहूंगा एक भी भाई 10वें और 11वें नंबर की टीम को एक भी पॉइंट ना मिले अगले 4 मैच में. ओके आईसी वर्सेस वुल, फलक ने मार दिया है. T24 डाउन.
But T24 is the price they pay. The rest of Wolves though on the back lines will not be able to.
Molly आई, need नहीं होगा damage.
Burning baton out of position. IQ humble.
बैट्समैन एक भाई हो जाए, बैट्समैन एक भाई नीड हो जाए. आईक्यू के पास नीड है, आईक्यू डाउन.
This is in a circle's time.
बैट्समैन एक भाई ओ नीड है. नॉक है नॉक. अरे फलक का प्यारा नॉक भाई. भाई दिख गया उसे, दिख गया था फलक को. बैट्समैन दोबारा ढंग से पढ़ियो भैया क्या लिखा है.
Very slow on the uptake here.
फैल्कन भी नहीं जीतनी चाहिए. अरे सॉरी यार, सॉरी. अरे भाई आईसी अच्छा निकाल के गेम यार. भाई आईसी आ जाएगी टॉप 3 में गेम जीत गई तो. अपने कब जा रहे हैं, अपने जब जा रहे हैं हम छोड़े अपनी जॉब. सीरियस डेली का ग्रैंड हो 10 घंटे का, जा तुम सकते हैं. इतना तो मेरे को पता है क्योंकि शॉटगन मेटा भी हट गया है.
Down towards the west side, but you absolutely have to play as a 3.
Okay, DK versus IC. IQ down.
Give up the angle.
ओसाल डाउन उधर से. नीड गया T24 का. और नीड है भाई. नीड है. ओ फलक का फ्लैंक एंगल. ओके इधर से नो गुड. ओ भाई IC आउट.
Of the solutions for them, and it's IC getting rolled down. Nobu,
ले छोड़ दी जॉब.
Goodness me, what a play coming through from Nobu on D+. That hilltop is not safe for anyone.
On notice.
How on earth do you find that? Nobu standing head and shoulders over the lobby.
भाई नोबू बचा गया भाई.
Madman, magnificent, resplendent.
भाई ये लूप्स और फैल्कन को मारो भाई, कोई तो मारो. बढ़िया नार्वेल तू ही मार दे.
Reject to go Del Sara's down.
Divine's
knock chips with the long range angle as per usual. Nobu might even smile.
भाई वो फिनिश करने भाई जा नहीं रहा. पता है जाएगा तो नॉक हो जाऊंगा. देख रहा तू गेम सेंस दिख रहा तू उन बंदों का. अपने होते किल चाहिए किल. भाई 10 पॉइंट्स डी के जैन में आ रहे हैं अवतार देखने. बढ़िया यार. मैं तो कहीं पैसे खर्च कर नहीं रहा. जनवरी में मेरा पैसे बचाने का मूड है.
You know what? Actually, after what we just saw, it's all on Nolbu, baby. Let's
और भाई मेरे को तो नहीं लग रहा कि अवतार अभी इतनी खींचनी चाहिए यार. ये ऐसी मूवी से एक दो अच्छी लगती हैं. अब फायर एंड ऐश कर दी भाई. मैं किसकी आग देखूं जाके. वो मूवी बनी थी पानी में, नहीं पहले बनी थी उनके लिए क्या बोलते हैं उन पर्सन्स के लिए जो अलग उस पे रहते हैं. फिर वाटर और फायर एंड एश. इसके आग देखने जाऊं. You know who the fuck it is, huh? Divine, huh?
I mean,
साले कब नहीं बचाता बे. मेरे पैसे बचते नहीं है भाई. मैंने पीसी में बहुत उड़ा दिए भाई. मैंने मेरे घर में मतलब और भी चीजें उड़ाए मैंने. बागी 5 कब आ रही है माँ का.
It's all a flourish for D+.
भाई ये फैल्कन ही जीतेगी.
6 elims. This really is the man of the hour. He's got MVP.
भाई नोबू भाई नॉमॉन्ड्रे.
They've got 11 nades blank and 6 smokes. They are in a pretty solid spot.
मेरे को भूख क्यों लग रही है यार.
In terms of utility.
Okay, RC गई. RC डेड है. Oh, RC
duo to move, and it's likely they go south over towards the Falcons angle.
फैल्कन ने आगे कुछ नहीं किया यार. फिर करना चाहिए. पर फैल्कन डाउन खेल रही है भाई. ये फैल्कन को ना थोड़ा चढ़ के खेलना पड़ेगा. फैल्कन तभी जीत पाएगी. हेलो मालिक वो थोड़ा सा गलती हो गई. लेह तू कब गया. तेरी ना कोई फोटो दिखी मेरे को लेह की, ना मेरे को तेरे को कोई वीडियो दिखी. तू लेह कब गया मेरे को ये बता.
The gunfights coming through from the Falcons.
This game's
a lot better though. I think that despite everything, and this is more praise, but for a singular player in Narvalo, is that I think that Falcons I've got to be really proud of this guy because he is doing such an unbelievable amount of work for the team, and also over many years of play. Narvalo has been insane. I think over the past.
अबे ये क्या लिख रहा तू यार? हेलो मालिक, वो थोड़ा गलती होगी, लेनी तो उसकी थी.
Full form, to his final form at least, because I think back in the day he was insane.
गंदी बातें करते
रहते
रहते हैं.
Drop off, but I think he has a lot more hunger for the game again now.
That's lovely to see.
हाँ last weekend समझ गया.
He's not smiling right now.
हेलो मालिक वाला मीम नहीं दिखा. हेलो मालिक, अच्छा वो ट्रक जो पलट जाता है.
Hopefully the adrenaline drop off here.
पिछले वाला रे भाई, तुम तो स्विच कर लियो. अबे भाई पैसा तुम पे मोटा. बर्दानी चल रही, तुम तो छोड़ सकते जो, हम नहीं छोड़ पाएंगे.
And he's using that smoke train just to get over this ridgeline. Knows he would be exposed otherwise.
थोड़ा सा नींद लग गया था.
Team approach.
Big for the D plus here is that they got a massive resupply. There was so many teams that fell down that ditch, so you have all.
भाई आज दिल खुश हो गया. विराट कोहली का शतक, रोहित शर्मा का अर्धशतक.
You can see here the Falcons actually has less names
ऊपर से सिविलियंस के छोले भटूरे ठूस के आए. मस्त पड़ा हूँ.
There's more in the boxes as well. Let's sit around them, right? Even if they throw them out, doesn't mean they've only got 11 to play with. It's just a question of what they could fit in their backpacks right now. D plus moving in. Chips scouting around, still having vehicles here is pretty powerful stuff. The Falcon smoke has been thrown on out. Reject.
और पहला गेम अच्छा गया था ना उजी का अपना.
Koa still watching this run out. Reggie not.
अबे आए थोड़े पैसे अभी, लेकिन स्विच तो हो गया तेरा. मार तो वो भी नहीं हुआ.
How has he just done that? Okay.
कितनी पढ़ाई होगी डेटा एनालिसिस की? डेटा तो हमने देख लिया है. डेटा तो हमने देख लिया है, जिस पे एनालिसिस करना है. ओ भाई नेड है भाई. ब्रो ये फटा कैसे नहीं? ओ भाई मेरे जो को और भाई नेड दियो भाई. नेड छठवां सातवां नेड है इसका. आठवां और भाई फैल्कन लेगी गेम. फैल्कन्स का चिकन आ गया. ले तेरा फैल्कन्स का चिकन आ गया. कल जो कह रहा था.
A pretty decent chicken dinner for Falcons, all things considered. They played that south side well. My money gets returned to me blank.
It does.
Goodness me, it's I mean, it really was that north side hill and Nolbu, the headline. A magnificent play coming through from the South Koreans.
Yeah, incredible stuff, honestly. I think for the Falcons, you're very happy with the way that one played out, and it does see them a lot safer in this tournament too. But I think the Falcons, it's just nice seeing three of them.
उजी वाले इसमें 19 मिनट नहीं टिक पाए, लेकिन वो भोसड़ी का 2 कोड़ी का
about how those early to mid game rotates are quite difficult for them. This time I think they identified some very strong portions of the map. They played it well, and as a 3 we can see they can still succeed. They can succeed as a 4-man as well. But for Nolbu, a warrior soul from Seoul in South Korea, incredible stuff. Just cannot wait to see what the guys have to say about that.
कैमरा सही है क्या? कैमरा थोड़ा गलत हो रहा है मेरा.
And the Falcons get their first chicken dinner here for Group Green, and it couldn't have been a better time. And I'll tell you what, it was on a toxic military hardship to the north. These guys got to be feeling so great here, Max.
You could see when the circle popped on phase 1, all the teams being okay, I guess. We'll have to rotate early across the bridge. But Falcons here
कैमरा तो सही है, लेकिन जिससे
rotationally speaking, right? They were just kind of idle a big
जिसे कैप्चर कर रहा है वो. अबे तू कहां जा रहा है हेंकिल?
Bloody utility until the last circle, because you can just use it and just bully teams. And Redox uses that buggy.
मैं चैट नहीं पढ़ पाऊंगा भाई ये माइक की.
Bully teams, and those names are so pinpoint accurate, Niptura.
देख इस
D plus and Reject couldn't do anything but get pushed against the blue even further. That was such a good use of utility.
कहाँ भागे जा रहा है भैंस की आँख? रुक ही नहीं रहा, रुक ही नहीं रहा। रुक जा लाडले, तेरी बहन का स्प्रिंग मारूं। ठीक है। भक्के तो वो गई थी, भक्के नहीं बता के गई थी कि तुम मुझे डिजर्व नहीं करते, मैं तुमसे 100 गुना अच्छा लड़का डिजर्व करती हूँ। अब जैसे लल्लू को कौन ही पूछेगा, वो रैन 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 रुन कर गई। आ जाओ। ये तो वही चल रहा। अबे मेसी का क्या सीन चल रहा है? उसने तो अलग ही गाफा कर दी है। इसकी आँख, भूख लग रही बहुत ज्यादा यार, कुछ खाने को नहीं है।
It's this exact kind of moment.
किसका?
Not engaged in a fight where we're eventually going to lose.
Oh, Fear just taking down threat upon threat. We do have an interesting situation brewing. I was going to say, Shin has got a bit.
Oh, need mover फटा है।
Spot. He is going to go down.
आज से नो Watchparty।
Oh, this opens up the entirety of the circle. There's only really Furia inside of it. The Expendables now have to make a push into the zone, and they've spotted out the fact that maybe one of the Orchid players is playing too far away, and they want to push after it.
No, they know that the Orchid is on the back foot. They can catch up
भाई
to
जब
them. I love
सच्चाई बोलते ना लोग,
It's just bouncing edge to
तो
edge
बुरी तो
here,
लगती है खैर।
just clearing space for themselves. They've given themselves entry into the next zone. Now Orchid turning their attention forward, doing some damage.
कड़वी तो लगती है भाई सच्चाई। गाफ मस्ती थी ना ओस्मियम और घात। ये ओस्मियम कौन है बे? हैं? ओस्मियम कौन है? ये कौन आ गया बे नया? ये कौन उड़ता तीर आया है? घातक भाई के समझ में आता है। टीएक्स का कोच, टीएक्स का कोच भी है? वाह लाडले, वाह लाडले। टीएक्स जितने टूर्नामेंट जीती है सब उसके अंदर ही जीती है। बोला मेजी ने सही कहा, सब बस टूर्नामेंट के बीच में नहीं बोलना चाहिए था। यार यश कितना भी डिफेंड कर ले, रियलिटी तो रियलिटी होती है। यहीं पे अगर तेरी सोल होती या फिर गॉडल होती या फिर तुम्हारी टीएक्स या रेवरेंट एक्सपार्क होती, जो भी थी, लोंडे चढ़ जाते मुंह पे मेजी के पे, मारने आ जाते उसे। भाई 18, 12, 30 आज का ये तीसरा मैच है आई थिंक। तैतीसवां मैच है भाई। है ना, 33वां मैच है ना। अगर इतने मैचों के बाद में भी नहीं हो पा रहा है तो मैकेनिकल स्किल्स तो बहुत ही लेवल अपर हैं इंटरनेशनल्स। ये तो क्लियर हो चुका है भाई, ये क्लियर हो चुका, मैकेनिकल लेवल में वो बहुत ही आगे हैं। अब भाई चाहे कोच मान चाहे कुछ बुरा मान, लेकिन ये तो समझ में आ गया कि मैकेनिकल इतना तगड़ा है कि इंटरनेशनल का कुत्ता बना देते हैं भाई वो। अब बात रही मेंटेलिटी की, बात रही उसकी, भाई तुम इंडिया रिप्रेजेंट करने जा रहे हो, अगर तुम्हारे पास 80 तुमको सपोर्ट करेंगे तो 20 तुम्हें बुरा नीचे दिखाने आएंगे ही। और जिसमें से उन 80 और 20 के बीच में अगर टोटल 100% लाए, उसमें से 5% ऐसे होंगे जो हमेशा सच की बात बोलते हैं, और वो सच बोलने वाले को इंडिया में डाउन किया जाता है हमेशा। मैं ये नहीं कह रहा हूँ, मेरे हिसाब से ओजी अभी भी बेस्ट टीम है, लेकिन मैकेनिकली ना इतना कुत्ता बनाया ना इंटरनेशनल में। इंटरनेशनल हमें सिर्फ रिप्रेजेंट नहीं करना है, हमें डोमिनेट करना है। मैकेनिकल स्किल्स ही नहीं है भाई, गेम सेंस तो है, मैकेनिकल स्किल्स का लाओ भाई, बंदे मारने पड़ेंगे। सामने देखा मैंने स्ट्रीम पे, अपने बंदे ने M4 चलाई है, उधर से उसके बंदे ने M4 चलाई है, अपना बंदा नॉक हुआ है। उनका पिन पॉइंट पीक कितना अच्छा है। एक चीज गलत बोली मीजी ने, वो भाई मेरे को गलत का नहीं पता। चलो स्कोर बढ़ आ गया है।
I'm gonna say it up 100%.
Okay.
Like right
We
here,
are at
right now, we're
13,
stuck.
61 points
What do you think?
by 74 यार, 13 points का डिफरेंस है वो। कि ओजी इंडिया के टूर्नामेंट्स लग पे जीती है लास्ट डेज में। नहीं यार, ये तो गलत बोला। ये तो गलत बोला। ओजी की भाई, मैं तेरे को बता रहा हूँ, मैं ओजी को कब से फॉलो कर रहा हूँ। ओजी की मेरे को पता चली थी जब स्टार स्पोर्ट्स का टूर्नामेंट आता है ना, वो वाला जो टीवी पे आता है, स्टार स्पोर्ट्स जो करवाती है, बीएमएसडी होता है, क्या बोलते हैं उसे, जो भी बोलते हैं, जिसमें वो पॉइंट्स डबल होते हैं, वो वाला सब कुछ पावर प्ले वाला कुछ सीन होता है ना, मेरे को याद नहीं है क्या बोलते हैं उसे। उसका प्राइस पूल था, पहले बंदे को 1 करोड़ मिलेंगे, दूसरे बंदे को 35 लाख मिलेंगे, ठीक है। प्राइस पूल मेरे को याद नहीं, 5 करोड़ था 10 करोड़ था, मेरे को याद नहीं है। ओजी इस टूर्नामेंट में सेकंड आई थी, वो भी 1 पॉइंट से, और यही 4 बंदे थे। आई थिंक बस जेली पहले था, उसमें पता नहीं कोई एक बंदा जो पहले खेलता हो, लेकिन यही बंदे थे भाई। तब से मैं ओजी को देखता रहा हूँ, वो बहुत 2-3 साल हो गए इस बात को। ओजी तब से अच्छा कर रही है। अब भाई जो टीम इंडिया में सबसे ज़्यादा कंसिस्टेंट रही है, वो जा रही है, गई है रिप्रेजेंट करने, और वो इंटरनेशनल में जाके नहीं कर पा रही है। 33वां मैच है ये, 33वां। तो भाई अपना बहुत लेवल पीछे, मतलब ये मान लो ये इंडिया उस लेवल पे कह सकते हैं जैसे इंडिया की हालत फुटबॉल में है ना, ऐसी हालत अभी हमारी ई स्पोर्ट्स में। देखते हैं यार, अभी रेड ग्रुप बचा है अपना, जेली है, जेली की टीम है। मेरे को जेली की टीम के प्लेयर भी नहीं पता, लिटरली बता रहा हूँ।
Okay. Now loops have
कल मैंने बस
74.
उनकी शक्ल देखी थी जब मैं एडिटिंग कर रहा था।
RC have 51. You know what that is a difference of?
जब ओजी नहीं कर पा रही है तो फिर सोल गॉडेड टिप्स पहन दो भाई। ऐसा तो नहीं है कि नहीं कर पाती, अगर मोमेंटम उनका चढ़ जाता तो खूब मारती, सोल खूब मारती। मोमेंटम ही नहीं बन पाया ना, 33 मैच में भी नहीं बन पाया, तो फिर इंटरनेशनल लॉबीज हैं टफ, ये तो है।
For me, what do you think, Max? You think they have another one? Do you really think so?
I think there's still another one. I would say, you know what? Yes, they still have one more, you know,
क्रिकेट भी
but after that it's going to be
ऐसी शुरुआत एक दिन पबजी में क्रिकेट की तरह डोमिनेट करेंगे इंशाल्लाह, बिल्कुल करेंगे।
That's bold.
जेली कियो लमाओ हर्ष हाइड्रो, कियो लमाओ का तो नाम सुना है मैंने, हर्ष और हाइड्रो में नहीं जानता भाई।
Well, let's go ahead and take it on over to the stage with 7WG with Falcons and Narvalo.
यार भूख लग रही है यार मेरे को, यार मैं
Welcome
यार अंडे भी नहीं रखे यार, उबाल लेता
I'm
तो।
joined by Narvalo from Team Falcons. Narvalo, great quick rotation from Pochinki to military. And honestly, I want to talk about your gameplay because I feel like your gameplay has improved from day one to now the final day. What have you been doing the past 2 days to make sure you can actually perform here on the final day?
I think for this game, like, it was the call, the print path was north, and we said if it's military, we should be first to reach like the island. So it was the call to go quick and go on the left side, no block, as we kind of studied. And then I think we move way faster and with better position. We take better position first and second zone, and that bring us better end games.
You definitely did. Now you're currently, I believe, 17 points away from the top 3. Do you honestly think you can make it to top 3?
Before a game, we could think it's too far, but after this game, we did, I think, more than 17 points. So, like, if we just need like 1 or 2 other games like that, and we should be close to the top 3.
Well, Team Falcons, the confidence is back. Let's see if they can make it to top 3. Back to y'all.
Let's go, man. You know what? I totally agree. I think Falcons are
और
absolutely
इसमें ऐड कर दूं कंसिस्टेंसी वाली बात में, यश वही गिनती की 6-7 टीमें हर बार पीएमजीसी में क्यों जाती है, डीके, एपीजी, वुल्व्स, और जो पहुंची हुई हैं, कारा है, और जो भी पहुंच गई हैं, क्योंकि कंसिस्टेंसी के साथ उनके पास गेम प्ले भी होता है। उनकी गन गेमिंग, गन पावर इतनी अच्छी है कि वो आएंगे। अब इंडिया में कंसिस्टेंसी के नाम ओजी, ओजी के जो बेस्ट टीम इंडिया से आई है वो भी नहीं कर पा रही, तो अपना लेवल बहुत ही नीचे। मैं तो कह रहा हूँ भाई, बहुत ही नीचे। 8 साल तो भाई मेरे को भी बीजीएमआई में हो गए, अपन नहीं आ पाए क्योंकि हमारा था नहीं। अब ओजी का कमबैक एक ही बंदा कर सकता है, हर्षित राणा।
They need the points. They need the points, and they need to go quick because those
भाई
teams
33वां
at
मैच
the
हो
bottom,
चुका है,
they're still pushing,
33वां
still
मैच आने
going.
वाला है
So
शायद।
honestly, it's not so much a wrangle. I think for me, it's like match 3, done deal, needs to be done now.
Let's see if they can do it right now. The last Aaron Gale of the day. Let's take it on over to our casters, John and Blake.
8 साल तो PUBG को भी नहीं हुए बहन के है, क्या बात कर रहे हैं? मेरे को तो लग रहा हो गए।
We've got one more, right? After this, we've got one more, Aaron Gale. We've got 2 more to play, as far as I'm aware.
7 साल बोल ले, हो गया होगा भाई almost।
Will also be on Aaron Gale, so don't go getting ahead of yourself there, Jukes. I know you want to see
हाँ,
who's
7 साल
qualified,
9 महीने चल रहा है ये।
have to play all of the matches here. So Zomfka military base over towards Stalba. It's only fitting we start the play.
भाई मैं PUBG की बात ये कर रहा हूँ, मैंने कि PUBG मोबाइल तो 2018 में आया, उससे पहले PUBG मैं देखता था बहुत में। प्राउड, जस्टिन, चोको, टाको, अपने इंडिया का राकाजोन गेमिंग, अपने इंडिया के वो जिसकी बंदे को श्राउड ने रिजेक्ट किया था, किस बंदे पे रिएक्ट किया था भाई? मैं मेरे को 2017 में ना मुझे फोन मिला था, मेरा फोन जब मेरी 10cg पे है, तब से मैं क्राउड रिएक्ट्स ऑन इंडियन प्लेयर।
As that 3-man, you no longer have the power to
ग्रिमो के साथ तुम्हारे वो औरम PUBG है ना, जो तुम्हारा औरम PUBG जो कोच है अब किसी टीम का, औरम किसका कोच है, वो ग्रिमो के साथ खेलते थे वो लोग। मैं तब से PUBG फॉलो करता आ रहा हूँ।
This is what I mean by just these small errors in gameplay. Again, hindsight's 2020, and I'm out here of the observing desk.
Oh no!
एक और मिलिट्री का जोन, ओह माय गॉड। और मैं तो कह रहा हूँ ना ये हमारा जोन बन जाए।
Maybe I cursed them. I said I wanted to see it yesterday. Give it to us.
इधर वाला जोर बन जाए।
Today, fair play.
मजा आ जाएगी।
PG get a nice start. They got immediately over towards Millie base as we started down there nice and early. The difficulty comes in the fact that this moves away from Millie base at that plane path. So if this is coming down from Kameshki towards the south, teams who are dropping late could have readjusted on their plane path, on their parachutes down towards military base. In this case, it's really only Gen G and GS who get a decent start off the back of this one. So another game potentially for reject as well. Tiamba, who both start very close to this location, and try and lift themselves out, but it's getting very far ahead of them now. It loops with 74 points for 51 and 50 apiece for reject as well as Tiamba.
I mean, the major difference on this West Bridge is Gen G being here, right? Goat had a pretty free and clear rotate over last time. If Gen G pull up and cause a fight to start here, Falcons, we saw they wanted to rotate fast early. This is the same circle, the same decision. I don't think too many teams will have had time to fully review what happened there, except for maybe Goat on that rotation. They'll know that Falcons move fast. But if they get stuck down in a fight here, the Falcons are going to crash straight into the back of it. This 3-team traffic jam didn't exist in the last. And GS are holding the East Bridge in the meantime, by the way. We'll see just how sticky this spot can be, because Tiamba moving in. This is on the East Bridge now. There is a roadblock. There is the Caltrops set out. They're looking for the backstop player. They're looking to try and disparage them from getting on forwards. Des has to drop down though, and that's where the backup needs to come from. There in spades, buckets of bullets pouring.
पकड़ लिया भाई टियानो को.
And now the
last बंदा बचा.
Brilliant coming on through. There's finally an answer.
Last बंदा बचा QZ.
Too little, too late. They've lost the majority of their players. Nobody else is pushing.
टियानो को तो छील दिया भाई. क्या ही कैंप मारा GS ने.
So no chance that GS get run down by a third party.
वो नहीं डरा, QZ का नहीं डरा.
A few times I think you just like send it. You just send it if you are Tiamba. The initial shots weren't that great from GS. I think Tiamba
मार दिया भाई ले.
a little bit too much.
Easy. GS के लिए easy points. पर GS भी हमसे ऊपर चली गई भाई.
I don't know if it was the optimal play there in that instance. Again, it's one of those things where it could have gone either way. Tiamba drops out, they get the first 2 knocks, and then it's easier to play from there. But I think that really hurts Tiamba's chances, and I think they have to take a bit of a gamble on just the straight approach into the zone. Nepturo actually brings up a really good point about Falcons, where if they get another strong game here, potentially is the initial rotations. Now, me and you have been covering PMSL EU for the longest time, John, and we know that the Falcons are some of the slowest to rotate. Because they play Pachinki so much, they already have this central position. I actually think that position hurts them. a lot. It is one of the strongest locations in the map because it is so central, but it's made for this almost stagnant gameplay coming through from Falcons, where they don't make these initial rotates to strong positions. They'd rather play church on the west side of Pochinki and wait things out if it's a western circle. I think here, because we do go to Sosnovka, it forces Falcons to take risks, to make moves, which they wouldn't necessarily go for. And they're benefiting from it. It says a lot to me.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that they are now, after that game, very much in with a chance of getting top 3 here as well, Blank, is going to be great news. And they'll love to see a game that they just succeeded on very, very... in a very big way, right? Repeat itself, hopefully. But the second circle on last match was also a big factor. It forced a lot of teams to move to the north side of the island after having tried to rotate around, occupying a lot of the area, a lot of the ground around there. So that was a big factor in the dynamic of that last zone, of that last match. We'll see where we're going to go this time around. But at the moment, Falcons on the south coast with Gen G, who went across the bridge very, very early.
So they scout that out, and they're going to peel back off this one. No reason to try and push this. And they've already scouted out a huge amount of space on the western side. Sadly, this is eastern leaning on the circle, so it could be further over towards where Observatory is. Alpha Gaming actually goes for a different maneuver. You know, they'll take Observatory for themselves, try and get that high ground nice and early. I think for Alpha Gaming, it's almost weird where I think that this team will perform even better than they have here over in the grand finals. I think that at times where they really do want to get stuck into things. They don't like playing slow. They are so good at the game. And I think that does create difficulty. That's a sad shot from the Observer. Like looking at the beached buggy from Diamba before they fell down. It's like, I was watching a funeral.
Well, you know, you got to celebrate him somehow, I suppose, whatever you can. It's Supermassive. With Loops, who are able to find Tron B. No answer, a little bit of damage, but I mean, this should be extricable for Loops. Neither team really wants to stay here for too long, though, Blank. I mean, there is a lot more of the North Island in this circle than in that first match that we saw today on Erangel. So you do have maybe a little bit more time. The circle could also still... it's got maybe like a 10 to 15% chance of going back to the mainland. It's very unlikely, but is technically possible. We'll have to wait and see for that one. So maybe a little bit more time, on average, they could go for it. And especially with the state of this east side bridge, it's maybe actually safer to stay in Milton for the time being.
Yeah, I think so. It's getting very messy around this region. Reject actually get there quite early, so because they were moving so quickly, they passed straight by from the northern beachhead. Could come back to bite them. I think they're trying to control as much area as possible. For OG, it's a long rotate for them down towards the south side. Very difficult stuff to make this one happen, but it's certainly possible. I think maybe potentially going for the western bridge might be a slightly better idea if you are late to this. And there are a lot of teams that play over towards the eastern side. When this being eastern playing,
oh भाई चलो मिलिट्री का जोन है अपने बंदे
the teams are going to be passing through.
बहुत लेट है रोटेशन में यार.
Circle realizes that as
कहाँ
well.
फंसे रह गए भाई?
They're going to pass over towards the west.
कहाँ फंसे रह गए अपने
बंदे? Out a lot of teams for them they'll have to go up against. Is Papa Supermassive up?
कैसे करवाना चाहेंगे रोटेशन में देखना चाहूँगा.
Loops the most in danger right now, falling down into the bottom 5 at 75 points, just 5 points clear from GS.
Yeah.
देखते हैं कैसे होता रोटेशन.
It's real rough stuff on that 11th place bubble. Obviously, we're playing in with 2 bubbles on this, Blank. If you were looking at the top 3, we were expecting it to be somewhere around 140. That's what we saw from Gauntlets on the same number of matches. It was 141, I think, and 4th place was 140. So very, very close. Could be around there. Could be a little bit different. So if you're up and over about 150, that's where you start to feel pretty good about yourself, right? That's where you start to feel a lot safer in terms of that top 3. And then we're playing with the 11th place bubble, which is not easy at all as well. It seems to be very, very closely fought. Probably going to be closer to around that 90-point boundary. So getting up and over 100 sees you a lot more secure into those at least last chance stages.
There are teams now breaking into that as well, even towards the middle of the pack.
Okay, अपने बंदे कहाँ से रोक रहे हैं? Okay, Falcon पीछे कर रहे हैं Ghost का. Smart ये पे जाके ये finish करके आ गया.
Might have gone down there.
He wants those points, man. He wants to bump himself up in the tables. I respect him for it. But you are right. I think that what you said at the start of the game is very pertinent here, where Falcons actually are in with the running now. I think there's only one spot up for grabs, personally. I don't see D+ putting on the brakes anytime soon. I think Alpha Gaming have done more than enough this tournament. I think personally, if you're an Alpha Gaming fan and you're looking how they're playing today, it might not look flashy, but they're playing slow because they just want to get regular points, consistent points. And that's even if they just play like this, there is going to be a game today where Alpha Gaming has a strong position and they win from it because they can.
Because they can. They can. ये बात strong position और वो जीत सकते हैं.
They absolutely deserve it as well.
अपने बंदे कहाँ हैं? मेरे को दिख ही नहीं रहे. मेरे को अच्छा लेफ्ट रोटेशन चल रहा है.
And a kid, right?
रिपेयर वाले तो ओके फाइट हो रही है लूप्स वर्सेस ओए अकेला बंदा फंस गया यार. आतंकी पाजी हो जाए. पाजी हो जाए. पाजी हो जाए आज.
It's incredible.
आज दिखा दो पाजी.
On Loops have been on the grind here for a while, trying to get on into the zone, but they've had to go all the way to the west side, and OG might draw them short here. Lots of damage already felt by both of these teams by the blue zone. We're into stage 3, so it's non-trivial to deal with.
अरे नहीं यार. हट.
In shotgun. Shut down there.
अबे यार विजगॉड भाई अभी आ गए.
But there's the off angle.
निकलो छोड़ो भाई. कोई मतलब नहीं है. 3 points हैं इनके लिए. निकलो. निकल भाई निकल. आरू भाई निकल.
Teams are going to start to lose.
हमें लंबा खेलना है.
If you can, is fairly wise at this stage. OG going to try and make a run for it. Loops maybe actually getting this res here. It is still resable for just a moment longer. We'll see if they can make it work. And yeah, OG off they go on their bike or buggy or whatever they can find.
It's a very, very tough approach here for OG. And again, this is what I meant earlier, where I think this Western Bridge is probably the more wise decision. It takes a while to get here, but OG definitely make it. They're going to take a quick scout over the bridge, quick reset on the meds, but there's no one waiting here.
भाई डी के कितनी सेक्सी पोजीशन में बैठी है.
Why is Rodrigo still on the north side?
डी के कितनी सेक्सी पोजीशन में बैठी है.
Are they that worried? Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, I think that it seems like they're very worried about what's going on the other end of things.
Okay.
Again,
Can we have a brisk camp here from our boys?
And I think that they have seen multiple times that teams have been held out in this location. Come on,
they're still not going for it.
You got to make the cross at some point. I am worried that what they're going to do is they're going to go for the swim, in which case they give up a lot of vehicles.
They're just refueling. Don't worry. They just stopped off for snacks. That's what it is. Alva was hungry, guys. It's all just an aid of a full stomach. Can't be taking gunfights on an empty stomach.
Come on, we're getting to stage 4. And 9Z is coming in behind them right now.
Maybe they're not waiting. Maybe they're the ones bridge camping.
Okay, 9Z मार 9Z. 9Z तो बहुत ऊपर निकल गई.
Time to go now. It's time to go now. Thank you.
9Z तो खुद बहुत ऊपर निकल गई. भाई कल ये टीम बताओ हमसे पास में थी.
Very much a situation of
Zenzi और Loops और GS. भाई एक चिकन होना. ओके लंबा रोटेशन मार के जेनजी के पास जा रहे हैं. अरे यार.
They have got across. Circle. Back over towards D+.
डी के मारेगी. डी के कुत्ता पड़ देगी इसमें.
Playing the hilltop.
क्या जोन कटा है भाई.
It's a very messy circle.
State मत जाओ.
Towards Millie base as well. We are cutting it a little bit of a strip.
अच्छा. अरे भाई टॉप भाई क्या स्नाइपिंग है ये. और टॉप बने ई को छील दिया. हाय.
Alpha Gaming though. Goodness me.
भाई top भाई
shots down towards
IGL होता है ऐसा
need
हो
to
भाई
pick these reses up as fast as they can to get onto this next zone. D
लो
plus ahead of them to
भाई
the west.
down
You've got
finish
9Z, who
भाई
actually rather shockingly just sent straight on through, but straight in the rejects. Already they're getting torn to pieces. Rejects very happy to see some points delivered to them. The question is, can they find the shots?
This got to be
Can they
down.
find those shutdowns? There's only one left on the inside. I don't think it's going to last too long here.
भाई
Rejects.
solo बंदा बचा
Looking for the last player on the end. Rotate in. Comes through. As we see a crash from Team Secret. They're still alive, by the way, in the picture-in-picture. On the north side, actually, towards Loops, who might be in a bit of trouble. Can't quite find their way in here. Milos is just trying to hide in the corner. This is pretty nasty. I mean, step out. This is a shotgun. This is a shotgun.
अरे भाई क्या मारी है shotgun
There's one.
भाई
Well, gets the flush. That's huge. Has to go for the reload though. And now reject on the revenge path. They lose one player, but they do shut down.
Oh, that's disappointing, man. You know, it's just one guy in there, just re-peek. Yeah, I suppose that they did set up the combat quite well in terms of the two monster trucks denying the entry towards the window. So if they get crashed on, that's how they defend versus 9C. But that is a situation where you should be able to hold out as 4 and just refrag onto the player. The fact they lose one there is really bad. From a central position like this, it's really not good. I also think that there is something to be said here about 9Z, where although, you know, they're on 87 points, they've had some good games, there is a lot of impatience from this squad. If they can't find a good position early into the match, they will just send it. And oftentimes, they will just find themselves in really sticky spots on the map.
I mean, to be fair, you don't expect the team to be bridge camping you on the east in that scenario, right? Like, it may be really confuse them.
भाई IC अच्छा खेल रही है
I guess you also can't afford to be
भाई
able
डॉग
to
भाई
get
लगा के बैठा हुआ है
I mean,
दिख रहा है एपीजी का वो देखो पीछे पूरा बैक क्लियर करके ही खेलेंगे डीके का क्लियर है एपीजी क्लियर है भाई डीके एपीजी देखना लड़ेगी भी नहीं एंड जोन तक आते आते लड़ेंगी डीके और एपीजी
Also just play on the edge.
You must assume if there's a team still on that bridge that there are teams ahead of them, right? So you assume that the ground in front of them is very, very full. I'm trying.
अरे भाई ये क्या स्नाइपिंग है भैंस की आंख ईयर की तरह चल रही है
I will admit.
अब नीड करेगा पक्का नीड करेगा ले मार दिया ले भाई लूप्स पीछे भाई 83
eliminated and loops are up to 9 elims. Blank, you said they were the team that's most in danger of dropping down. Well, they are certainly acting
9 elims भाई 61 और 83 भैंस की 22 पॉइंट का तो गैप हो गया
this match. The harder life
हो गया
becomes for a lot
वो
of
जी तो
teams
बाहर
underneath. I mean, the reject and Tiamba, I think Tiamba.
तीनों मैच भाई सेंटर में बैठे हुए हैं
I think it is done.
अपने आरू भाई IGL साहब लेकिन अब क्या फायदा
for them to get back up towards that top side. Genji
भाई बैठे तो सेंटर हैं
looking dead over towards GS.
बैठे तो
Also chasing. I think GS are also struggling, but likely will.
भाई भाई क्या स्नैप चला रहा है वो यार की तरह मिनी फुट
inside the bottom 5.
Quick has to hit the deck. Falcons know exactly where he is. That'll be pinged out on the vehicles, but they are pulling back a little bit. Icon taken down. That is the last player of GS, and that is APG rocking up to this one as well. The Falcons on the far side really causing some hurt, some pain there.
भाई APG का फिर से अच्छा गेम है
APG as well.
भाई 3 बंदे यहाँ डॉग वहाँ पे जोन में बैठा हुआ है क्या गेम
that barrier that we were talking about, they're over 140 now, and they want one more at least. Dammy under pressure from these nades, has to reposition with the Falcons flying into that far hillside as well. He's not going to last too much longer. Up to 142, and the placements are going to kick in soon as well.
Yeah, for Alpha, all this is right about now is just not giving up first place. The jump up in price pool between second and first place is quite a lot in most PUBG Mobile tournaments. We still reward our top 3 very handsomely, but it's usually first place who does take the biggest cut of the prize. And I think that, to be fair, for Alpha, they were playing it fairly slow because they knew that they were holding on to first place. But as soon as D Plus started turning up the heat, they knew they needed to get a little bit of a game in. And this one's been good. I mean, even taking the opportunity to move over towards Observatory, that's very
ये क्या हुआ
like Alpha Gaming. Okay, takes Krypton along with him in the vehicle. I think that, you know what I would quite like to know is how many vehicle eliminations Docs had this group green. I think we're up to 6 or 7 now at this point, which is more than I think we've ever had in any one tournament.
Oh dear. He is certainly a terror behind the wheel. Whoever gave him a driving license, I'm sure they're regretting that one.
ओ बढ़िया 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 एक किल है एक ओपी ने लूप्स के किसी बंदे को मारा फिनिश होगी क्या लूप्स बढ़िया बढ़िया ओके टॉप 8 आ गए
in a circle again. That fight for the top spots here, third place, very closely fought between Goat and Inner Circle. Losing players here would be nasty. They've already taken a lot of damage, and as D+ they're up against, Osal has the off angle, and Goat are taking shots.
Oh, भाई IC अच्छा खेल रही है.
Inner Circle having a really bad time, but they've still got Falak. What can he do here? Favian close by, but backing off to find chips on the res.
D+. Chips goes down. Nado the top towards Falak does get a lot of damage done. Favian over towards Falak will find it. So that's in a circle, taking a lot of damage. They should be able to hit the chips back up. It's nice to see.
This is really Reject's game right now, with one player from Inner Circle to fall down.
APG versus Falcons हो गया उधर.
Central position. It's kind of
पर DK संभाल गई भाई.
Again, blank. In this circle, the southeast side that we see on the picture is APG versus Falcons.
अरे भाई हमारा भाई T24 ने turn trade भाई ये teams खेलती हैं इसमें आपसे turn trade हो गया.
Yeah, that's going to get flushed out. IQ is actually still alive in all of this. He did manage to get out of that fight. I am still focused though on this fight on the southeast side as we zap on over to it. Falcons with 4, APG
सोचो भाई AK ने भाई यहाँ से चिकन निकाल दी एक ओपी ने. क्या मजा आ जाएगी यार. क्रेजी हो जाएगा ब्रो, क्रेजी एकदम.
to the north and maybe look at a fight D+.
I think for D+, try this fight between D+ and Alpha Gaming, which probably will break.
Oh, भाई Falcons का comeback आ गया. Falcons can make it to top 3 भाई.
Very excited to see this one happen. Falcons need to break wide though.
भाई अगर ये Falcons चिकन निकाल दिया तो वो top 3 के कंटेंडर है भाई.
Falcons, we did speak about this at the start of the game, that there is a big chance to jump up above Inner Circle, above Goat into that top position.
भाई गोट वाले बंदे लेटे हुए हैं. नहीं गोट क्या है? तेरी फकड़ देख. चौधरी लाडले.
What a lineup that will be going through the grand finals. It'll be unreal.
I mean, I don't think going into the day anyone would have called Falcons with a chance.
But this is the last day. It's the last day always. It's always the last day for the Falcons.
It does seem to be, doesn't it? There's something about it. They have a potent resurgence built within them. Built different somehow.
It's curious as well, because usually Alpha Gaming's like the team that is the last day champions, where in that final day, Alpha Gaming is known to put up a disgusting.
Oh, Falcons versus Wolves, 2 down.
Right now, they are taking 2 knocks straight away. Falcons.
भाई बंदे ने 2 डाउन कर दिए. 1v3 हो जाएगा क्या? Oh भाई 3.
Oh no.
क्या 1v3 मारा बंदे ने डोरन ने भाई.
Yeah, top 3, the Falcons, APG, TK.
भाई Falcons का चांस था भाई यहाँ से मैच निकालने का. भाई डोरन भाई ओपी भाई. ये है गेम प्ले भाई. ऐसा चाहिए. एक ही ओपी मेरे को ऐसा चाहिए इसमें.
Right in the face.
भाई बाफ फाड़ दी भाई.
I'm sorry, didn't give that too much fanfare.
Oh, I could spot.
Honestly, it felt like, oh, okay, he's gonna get 1, he's gonna get 2.
Okay, top 6 आ गए.
Falcons
अच्छी जगह
up, surely.
भाई गोट मरेगी वहां से.
I cannot believe Doran pulled that off.
Bro, but international में 1v3 भाई crazy भाई मजा आ गया. अबे यार ये गोट के बंदे एक ही ओपी पे आएंगे.
Wolves again, not really probably going to get too much out of this game, but certainly
Wolves मरनी चाहिए, गोट मरनी चाहिए.
The decision to crash onto Doran
और RC तो नहीं मरेगी इतनी जल्दी.
Interesting one here, Blank. It feels like
okay, और टीम तो सेटल है.
Okay, sure you can transition.
गोट और वुल्स मर सकती है. अपन टॉप 4 आ सकते हैं.
Potentially.
अपन टॉप 4 तो आ सकते हैं.
I mean,
क्योंकि APG और DK तो इतनी जल्दी नहीं लड़ने वाली.
That way on the east. Also, if they do that, Reject have sight lines. I think
भाई
you
RC
don't see
अच्छा.
many players.
RC तो
if at
भाई
all,
RC बेस्ट पोजीशन पे
towards the
बैठी है.
silos. So you just
DK का बहुत प्यारा वो है इस टाइम.
I don't think the decision making was poor. I think the gunfight was terrible. But the decision making, I don't think there was an issue of it.
I mean, we need a replay of that at some point. Hopefully the desk will have that locked down, because Doran's going off right now.
Okay.
Maybe he's going to do it again. He's got a lot of smoke to play around. He's going to get up to the
वो
wall.
उस घर उस सामने वाले कंपाउंड में जा सकता है, क्या बोलते हैं उसे, टावर में.
They have too many options right now with the smoke cover.
I do like for Doran, he's now just using the entirety of Vulcan's utility to cross 20 meters.
Oh dear.
I'll show you guys how to use util.
भाई क्या ही गया बंदा सोलो.
Doran.
But I think अब स्पॉट हो जाएगा ये
Reject's
लास्ट.
like, where's he getting
ओ
all
स्मोक
this
खत्म,
smoke
अब
from?
स्पॉट हो जाएगा.
What?
ओ भाई वो
Why
वहां
is
के
it more than one dude? What's going on?
Some kind of
भाई वो लेट के चला जाएगा. अगर गोट के नहीं गोट और नीड आ रहा है. नहीं एक ओपी पे नीड आया तो अपनी किस्मत खराब है. नहीं ए बच गए. अरे यार.
That's insane. OG getting found on their last player. That's Goat to pick it up. Goat have been down on the belt buckles for a while as well, trying to crawl across the open ground. 5 teams remain. 8 eliminations for AP.
अरे भाई प्यारा भाई डोरिन भाई ना मान रहे. डोरिन भाई ना मान रहे भाई.
You gotta stop, man. You got to. You cannot be allowed to do stuff like this.
भाई डोरिन भाई ना मान रहे. डोरिन भाई ना मान रहे. अरे भाई. भाई ये बंदा ना रुक रहा. भाई बंदा ना रुक रहा. भाई PMGC में अकेला लगा पड़ा भाई. अरे भाई 2 सेकंड बची.
Stop it! Goats go down to the Giant Slayer. What is this man doing? He is absolutely crazy.
भाई go for the भाई.
Dear me. Doran will not let you get a foot in towards this circle.
भाई क्या लेवल भाई.
Into a 1v3. This is magic
2 बार
on the
1v3
main stage.
भाई अब तो मरेगा. भाई अगर यहाँ बच गया ना.
Doran's making this look easy. Gets up to the wall as well. Probably should go down to this nade though, but goodness me, what a game it's been from him.
भाई मतलब डोरिन भाई मजा आ गया भाई मैच देख के भाई.
Oh my days, it looks like the nightmares ended though, and now we're up to the hilltops. APG on 2 players alive, they've got a lot, but it's D+ again.
भाई डोरिन भाई क्रेजी कर गया यार. मतलब दिल खुश कर गया डोरिन भाई में मजा आ गया. ये लेवल का गेम प्ले भाई. दिल खुश हो जाता है. दिल खुश कर गया डोरिन भाई कुछ भी हो. अरे भाई.
Or maybe not quite. If they can get another elim, that's what they'll be looking for. But still, very, very close. Very comfortable to be in the top 3. Our first team to really, truly lock it down towards those spots. D+ want to join them, though. And with a chicken dinner, you think that they might be able to. A reject, again, in a late game circle. 6 elims. I mean, it's almost more important for reject than anybody else right now.
It absolutely is. For Reject, they want the chicken dinner, but they got 2 big dogs in the lobby, and right now they're the Chihuahuas. Let's see if they can make it happen versus the best of them. Zell takes some shots off and towards the distance. They do have the low ground to play at the moment to Reject. They have vehicles as well, which is the main thing, but D+ continues to send nades their way. From their position. D+ looking to fight out for those bragging rights at the top of the tables.
I mean, Reject have the center of the circle though. D+ are sure they've got a high ground position, they've got an angle, but
APG गई.
They're gonna have to move. The point's denied from APG.
DK के गेम है नहीं बे आरती अच्छा खेल रही हो.
They actually picked up the res in order to deny an extra point there, which is kind of nasty. To the blue zone it goes.
Okay, proper 4v4. नहीं 4v3 है. 4v3 है. I'm sorry. 4v3 है.
To stay alive in
DK ले जाएगी भाई. DK one of the best team in the DK champions है पिछले साल.
Downhill it's always a little bit tougher.
If a Reject, they need the chicken dinner. Like you say, it's imperative that they get it. It's not a case of, oh, it would be nice for Reject to have a chicken dinner. At this point in time, it is a case of, it's required. It is a necessary procedure for Reject to grab a chicken dinner here, to finish out this game and give them that chance. Because I think even with a chicken dinner here, it doesn't take them out from the bottom 5. But it will be the first stepping stone for them.
D+ starting to run a little bit lower on those nades. You can see they've only got 3 remaining. Ragey cooking another. If he finds a knock, this would be huge. The Molotov, probably a wiser decision. Force Ragey off of the tree. The question is, does it land on spot? It definitely did. Look at that damage tick away. He has to fall all the way back to the vehicle. That's going to be a lot easier for D+ to go on towards. They know the damage is there, and they have to go over the top now. Spray down towards the buy. D+ trying to stop from getting on in. And Regi looks for the spray.
Oh, Apollo ने DK को Osal को knock कर दिया.
Apollo finds it. Osal is down. They do not.
Oh भाई, Divine ने Fabian को भी कर दिया. 2v3, 4v2 से 2v3.
It's now 3v2. Reject have the inside of the circle. They are desperately climbing.
Oh, need है chips का.
Towards that 11th place.
ये Nubu का need बता दे कौन जाएगा.
Finally go down to the nade. One more left.
Nubu को need. But वो
on the grenade, Reject looking to reject defeat in the face of
नहीं पर
impossible
DK लेगी,
odds.
DK लेगी.
No, it's not meant to be.
DK लेगी, DK लेगी.
Oh no, they can't get all the way across the line. D+, take it away from them. Still, not a smile in sight. They are so cool, calm and collected.
भाई जा रही है DK और Alpha Gaming तो जा रही हैं भाई.
Now even more so, but Reject in tatters. A lot of points, but is it enough?
Absolutely not. I think for Reject, they did get some of the flushes towards the end there.
Spot, just send one. You know, sometimes it's about
like
sending a message.
250 away-ish. Aw.
Where'd it go? Where'd it go?
Where Mortar go?
Where Mortar go? I'm used to watching the arc come in. I feel bad.
Yeah. I don't think it was even close. That was a wanting mortar shot.
It needed to be a little bit further than that.
Yeah, for sure. Amiga, I mean, the cool thing is you can chill now. The circle did shift in your direction, so maybe if there is that, oh my God, Star-Lord is still alive.
Yep.
I had forgotten about this.
Oh, Twisted! No!
No.
It's going to be Petulance on the other side of it. Peeking between the two. There's multiple members for Twisted.
अरे भाई क्या मार रहा है बटूले? क्या मार रहा है वो लोग?
Just going to take him down. That's going to feel good after the pan in the last one. Sharper's Thunder down, but Sharper has to be careful with this. That might open up something that Twisted wants. They had multiple members. The reason why Petulance was by himself was Twisted was looking at Sharper's positioning.
Yeah, Sharper was able to wipe Alcadzia though, so they've got 7 kills, and they're up into 5th place right now. And that's got the whole crowd fans very excited. This has been a tremendous continuation of what started good for them on day 1 in Group A. Day 2, even better.
Everyone's in still alive for Furia, so they are tied up at that 53 point. He's just trying to creep his way in. Lyrics might be able to see him, but it looks like Sharper is going to get a bit closer to Twisted. This has become a survival game between the two. Sure, if Sharper can find some kills, but it's going to be very hard. 4 Angry Men holding one angle of it, and it's just kind of down into a ravine. There's going to be multiple crossfire positions. Lou going to take down Scaluzia.
There's some 4 AM fans in there too. There's a little bit of a cheer when Scaluzia goes down.
Always 4 Angry Men fans, no matter where we go.
No matter where we go.
They travel, dude.
They do, and that's...
in from them. Talk about you rejects. Looked
watching that backside, keeping eyes on Sharper, making sure they're not going to get any wild ideas to maybe try to crash their back lines or something, but Twisted should be safe-ish. They've got a few vehicles to utilize here. You can see Earth wants to pop those tires to make it a little more difficult to get that Porter forward.
Lyrics was taking shots at 4 Angry Men. That opened up some more avenues of safety for Sharper for now. But that also means that Kauzin can creep in back.
Oh!
Earth connects on to Lou.
अल्लाह की मचला नॉक हुआ भाई तुम्हारी टीम का बंदा.
Managed to make it into this circle. It would be amazing.
Music could be amazing.
That was a beautiful grenade. Right on the money. Lou had no idea until it was too late. That's a follow-up that's just perfect. Pinpoint. He's going to get another.
Dude, Sharper just unrelenting. Can they find a way to get into this circle?
Oh, Sharper versus 4A में उन्हीं की टीम है.
They can go hopping in the vehicle. They're going to send it around. 4 Angry Men. But now, while this is going on, it's Kauzin. He popped up, took shots at Lyrics. E-Arena not holding this angle anymore. Sharper's managed to creep in and find some type of path to maybe get in the zone.
And they're looking for this knock, I think. That would be so great if they could find it, but it's going to be a little bit too late.
Aim for Arena
just going to have to hunker down for now. Orchid has to try to get in somewhere, so a ton of smokes have to be used. Again, maybe the Freaks are going to have an angle into that when the smokes go down. It's going to be very, very tricky, and it's an attempted sneak play up this hill underneath 4AM's noses. So far, E-Arena hasn't spotted them either, so it hasn't given away anything for Sharper.
Sapuli. So close, yet so far.
GG
and Amiga still throwing things at each other. Suze takes a lot of that to the face. He has to
वापस आ गया भाई वो
just spaceman
वापस आ
by
गया कह रहा हूँ
himself
बात में रह
to
लेता हूँ
hold that angle. And remember, this is just barely inside the circle, so they're fighting for just the capabilities to try to cross the road.
Yeah, it's.
आया मेरा मैच
Bring it back. Let's go.
Hey,
One
do it
more
again.
time.
Oh my. I can't even break down rotations here, but of course teams that go on the bridge rotations early on are going to be given a significant advantage. D+ here though, taking it a bit slower, able to play the northern edge instead and pushing away reject. Good plan from them, Niptra. Respectful. We don't want to take an early game fight and take an early casualty. That's really going to hinder.
Nowhere for 4 angry men to go. They are out.
But Jedi, he might have eluded Twisted Mind's sightlines. He's out away from them. He could backstab them. Oh boy, that's so scary. Orchid is going to go down to the Freaks in 17. Just a really rough spot for them. Meanwhile, Namiga has gotten that circle love, and so they've been able to hang on to the corner of those fields for some time. Jedi out in the blue.
Found a crate that probably has some meds in it that might give him enough time to survive, but I think Perfectix
example
is going to go ahead and get the kill onto him to finish out, but heroic attempt. The most cover inside the circle is the crates that are just littered across the middle of it. There is nothing else. Everybody's fighting on the edge.
Yeah, Freaks need to hunker down and make sure that E-Arena or Twisted can't get on top of them. Good news for them is E-Arena is thinking about a fight with Twisted over on the other side. Namiga harassing 17. Perfectix taking half damage on that grenade. Has to go for the first aid. He will have to chew through a little bit. Oh, what a grenade from Opons again.
Twisted eyes on that first place position. The Expendables down early. Lots of points that they have to try to catch up on, but it's going to be E-Arena wanting to climb up their own, tied up right now, down in that 10th place position. Can E-Arena take down Twisted and stall them out? Nade's going to go just a bit too far, and E-Arena clings to life as Example and Lou just cannot find the angle. But Tulin's starting to at least find some shots. Opons in, closer and closer to Lou.
But those were such good initial grenades that it has stalled E-Arena up, and Twisted Minds can really try to think about how they want to take this fight, or even if they want to. Lou up close and personal, just going to cook the heck out of it.
Oh, does it drop close enough? Gets some damage, but doesn't get the knocks. He just runs right into the thick of them, dancing around right in their face, cooking the nade. He wants it. He's going to drop it right on top of him. It's going to be at range. Example being the distraction, feeding the information to know exactly where this nade's got to go.
Oh, it's perfect. Lou, the patience there pays off, but Lyrics is going to strike. He goes out the blue, gets the flush, traded out by Example.
Just down to Example and Batulins. Example at 4 kills. Twisted at 8 total shots. Continuing to ring out from Twisted Minds on this hillside, pushing up, trying to use the tree for cover, seeing if they can get these flushes. Spots out, but it is going to be Example going down to Nurins, the last member up for E-Arena.
Yeah. The Freaks actually got involved in that fight a little bit too. We're doing some damage to E-Arena. Namiga, they're coming in. They want a piece of this.
Back behind the solo in Batulins. He's in some trouble, but we've seen him in this position, isolated by himself several times. Batulins wants to take down E-Arena, but cannot find the angle. Smokes down. Lots of sprays coming out from Namiga, and Batulins in trouble.
Yeah, the Freaks are going to claim some more lives of E-Arena. And it's going to be Nurins actually going down to the blue. Didn't have anything further he could really do in this one. So now the Freaks are on guard duty. Want to prevent Namiga and the last player from Twisted from getting in there. And Batulins gets lit up as soon as he sticks his head up. And yeah, the SKS will finish the job.
Batulins is like one of the most annoying players to kill whenever he's by himself. Freaks, low ground, control, crates galore in front of them. They've got some control positions that they can play from. I wouldn't even necessarily call them buildings, just some covered hay bales to work around. Meanwhile, Namiga's got the high ground.
Heaven has to be ultra careful here. Finish the job when they
We're getting closer to find out which 3 teams will be going to the finals from Group Green and which 5 teams will be eliminated and which 8 teams are going to go to last chance. I'm joined by none other than Snape from Alter Ego. Alter Ego currently not having the best performing day in comparison to what we've seen in the past 2 days. For this squad, what is the plan for the remaining 3 matches to make sure that you can actually get up there in the top 3?
Oke, Snip, kalau kita lihat performa AE sekarang tidaklah begitu yang seperti kita lihat dari hari-hari kemarin. Ya, apa rencana AE dan juga Snip buat sisa 3 game lagi nih?
Paling dari kita karena 3 game sebelumnya nggak berjalan baik. Game 3 selanjutnya mungkin kita harus menjaga dari kayak mentalitas dari setiap individu ya. Jadi kayak dari kepercayaan diri sama semangat tuh harus yang kayak kayak biasa aja lah. Yang kayak ya tetap harus percaya diri sih. Itu paling dari sisa 3 matchnya. Kalau dari segi makro nggak begitu banyak berubah lah kalau dari kita.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we not really perform on the first 3 match. I think for the last remaining 3 match, it's the game of like mentality. I think for each individual, they still need to like prepare their mentality. They need to be that confident. It's because right now it's not about macro, it's not about micro, it's about the mentality itself. So we're looking forward for the next 3 games.
Okay, well, I'm hoping that that mentality is going to shine through. I'm pretty sure all of Indonesia is going to be hoping for that. Thank you so much, Tarima Kasi. And I have none other than Rafinha here from Loops Esports. It feels like history is currently repeating itself. Last year at PMGC, you were able to qualify to last chance via 11th place. Right now, you are in 11th place as well. How will you be approaching the last 3 games to make sure you can make it to last chance?
Então, ano passado, no PMGC, vocês acabaram classificando para o Last Chance em 11º lugar de novo. E agora vocês estão no mesmo lugar. Então, como é que vocês vão fazer esse approach para o próximo jogo, para os 3 últimos jogos finais?
Bom, a gente está aplicando hoje aquilo que foi planejado nos 2 primeiros dias. E a gente vai tentar manter essa pegada. Começamos muito bem as 3 primeiras partidas. Então é manter e o top 3 ainda é uma realidade. Então continuar mirando sempre no topo. E é isso, atingiremos.
So we would continue to apply all the knowledge that we have in the game, and we were planning for the two days. But we are really happy. We started with like 3 very good matches, and we are happy. We are aiming for the top 3, and yes.
Hopefully that's going to be the case, because good thing you had those 3 matches. You have had a resurgence from Reject. You see OG as well, currently playing with nothing to lose. Those teams are 18 and 19 points away from you. In the last 3 games, do you think that Reject or OG can catch you?
Então, a OG e a Reject estão bem próximos de vocês, né? Estão ali entre os 19 e 18 pontos. Você acha que eles conseguem pegar vocês?
Never.
Ooh, no need for translation on that one. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The final 3 games of Group Green are coming to you.
Never. That's what I like to hear right there. That is how you do it. I'll tell you what, though, from never to always, man. We got to show love to the Infinix GT30 series, the official gaming phone of PMGC 2025. Engineered for precision, performance, and victory, empowering every gamer to be the one and outplay the rest on the global stage. I'll tell you what, Loops need to apply all that knowledge and then some if they want to make it into the top 3, because mathematically it's still possible, right, with what we have left today, but it's going to require a massive game here and now, because these teams in the mid
So I'm still waiting for his moment. He was for a time, right, the new generation of top-tier players from Americas, and unfortunately ever since the end of last year we haven't really seen that kind of rise to fame and glory from Ratoboy. But I believe, Loops, you know what, there's still time, there's still 3 matches, there's still an opportunity for them to make that ascent.
Yeah, let's see if they can make that ascent coming up soon. But you know what, we heard close for sure. I think that we're gonna see these next matches heat up like crazy, because I mean every single one of these teams, they don't want to go to last chance, right? They want to make it into those finals. So how much percentage do you think we're gonna see like the gameplay level up in these last 3 matches? What do you think?
I think 50%.
Ooh,
I think 50%. It's not. It is a big increase because I think these teams are kind of holding out just a little bit, but they're definitely doing a lot here already. There's not that much holding back. There's just a little bit, but I think just the intensity from everybody is going to make this a really interesting last few games, especially if we look at the 4th to 6th place, or even 4th to 8th, really, actually, because IC are at 104. In 8th place is Falcons with 96. That's less than 10 points away from a 4th place position for Falcons. So all of those teams in between there definitely going to be bringing in the heat in this next game.
I mean, if I can bring up a negative point here, it's Alter Ego. I'm sorry, they had such a banger performance yesterday. There's nothing to show for it today. Really, this team just kind of disappeared. They've had some decent entry points and stuff, but when it comes to fights, I mean, look at this replay. I mean, I'm sorry to say, but they're just getting completely squashed, literally, by the competition. And there's still time to make up for that maybe rough start of the day, unlike Dorian, who clearly has redeemed everything here for his squad. But Alter Ego here, Hodgix, this is the team that I need to see something from this next game, because otherwise, with how performant and consistent the top teams like APG and D+ currently are today, it's going to be tough to make that comeback.
For sure. I'm going to say it right here and now. I think we got one slot left available, and I think that's the 3rd place position with GOAT. Yeah, I mean, D+ have 139. They're playing so well. Alpha Gaming, they're putting up points regardless of the situation. I just think it's too tough to catch up with how chaotic these last 3 matches are going to be. That's in my opinion, you know? So, man, we just see the level up, right, towards these last game. And we just saw Doran, 7 eliminations all by himself. I'm going to tell you, if the Wolves somehow pull it out here and steal that 3rd spot away from GOAT, it's going to be 100% due to that one particular play. I mean, that's a huge difference maker right here, Max.
Could be. I'm actually, you know what? I want to talk about Dorian real quick. The fact that we've had so many top-tier players from Romania in the past, like, I'm sure some people are going to remember Eastern Stars. I'm sure that's going to be a callback for some people. And you had Octavian, you had Kapahala, all those guys. And now the one player from that region, Niptura, from Romania, that still stands strong and is able to perform globally from Romania is Dorian. You would have told me like years ago, I would have said there's no way, but no, he is the guy who stood up and is still here to this day.
Gosh, that's just a blast from the past. You took me back 2-3 years there with some of those names, Max. But yeah, Doran, it's so nice to see a player stand out even back then, continuing to do his thing. He's still on top. He's still got it. It's really, really nice to see, especially at this level, right? PMGC, and you're able to get 7 eliminations on your own. 1v7 in PMGC is insane.
Hey, by the way, you're talking about Romania, Texas, right?
No, we are back, guys.
Pretty sure.
Yes.
Right?
Definitely.
Yeah, no, exactly.
We claim him now, baby. He's on the Wolves. He's rocking that USA flag. That's 100% American.
Okay, guys. Now we are back. We pray. 3 matches हैं,
I
guys.
love to see that. I love to see those plays, and you know, it's these
3 match में 40
moments, these clutch moments that will just revitalize a squad. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, when you get in these high pressure situations, sometimes you need someone to make it happen. Hey, for D+, it's
चलो यार आरो भाई.
Right? Because
the
going gets tough. You got to hit those hard.
Here for you guys.
He's doing it for the
we
squad.
Still be here.
The fact that D+ has chips and
every time
Blue going crazy too, man.
आतंकी पाजी हो जाए.
Oh.
सस्रियकाल पाजी.
अजी
हो जाए आज.
I'm trying to think right now. Who would be?
मैं कह रहा 3 मैच बचे हैं.
मैं कह रहा हो जाए. MVP. Like you got so many contenders, of course. Chips.
वो आ रहे हैं पा रहे पाजी भाई.
Top for APG.
वो जी भाई आ रहे पा रहे 3 मैच बचे हैं और इन 3 मैच में डिलीवर कर दिया तो PMGC में आगे खेल पाओगे नहीं तो फिर बाहर हो.
Really close, way closer than what we had during Gauntlet, right? It showed that we kind of had a good inkling of who it would be, but right now, I'm not sure.
I think it's gonna be Chips, to be honest, and the reason I say that is because he was daily MVP yesterday. Was he? Yes.
Yes, he was.
Today we've also had a game from him
Wolves?
where he was also
Wolves
of that game, whereas Top has not. So Top was MVP day 1, but the performance overall from Top has not been as standout as Chips continues to do, and so I think it is probably gonna Chips be just inching that one over the rest of the lobby.
That's a good pick. Who do you think, Rodriguez?
I think that's pretty close.
By Dorian, by last match में जो मारे हो
I think Alpha is not done yet because I think we saw them do that split in Rondo, that made me hype because I was like, you know what? Yeah, if you're going to mix things up, you really only need one good game if you're Alpha Gaming to lock yourself in, right? The fact that they did that split and they sent Top, like one of their top fraggers out there to try to get some eliminations, I thought was a really good play. I think that if they get a normal set, there's no pressure at all on this squad as opposed to everybody else pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, actually, I just cheated a little bit. I just looked. It's currently in order, top 5 MVPs for day 1, day 2, not day 3, but it was Top, Nolbu, Rosemary, Falloc, and then Chips. So Chips actually way lower than I expected, Nipcho. That's kind of a surprise. Wow.
I'm so surprised by that, but I suppose MVP for the team maybe isn't MVP for the lobby, right? He's doing things for the team, but maybe the other guys are just out eclipsing him just that little bit more.
Well, man, now is the time, folks. You gotta put up some points right here, right now. It's the grassy lands of Argyle for the final time today. John, Blank, who's gonna win this one? Tell me. I want to know.
भाई मेरे हिसाब से OG chicken. OG chicken, भाई.
Well, I don't know about you, but I feel like Doran's gonna win this one. I don't know who he's playing for or whatever. I'm all about him, right? That seems to be the case. He could just take on the entire world on his lonesome. Wow. What a monumental achievement in that last game. But all jokes aside, it's definitely Team Secret winning.
You think Team Secret's getting a win here?
100%. Every time, it's Team Secret.
Huh?
No doubt in my mind.
Maybe another Sosnovka circle, potentially. That could be certainly interesting. I think players probably hate it, though. But yeah, we are getting probably back to normality, maybe, I hope. In terms of the circle, 2 games in a row that favored towards Reject, and their immediate rotate across towards Sosnovka was very much needed for them to try and get themselves out from the bottom 5. I think that they are very lucky that they got the double Sosnovka. But they also played it fairly well to get towards 2 endgame finishes. Not quite the chicken dinner, though. Definitely a possibility on that last match, but not quite able to pull it off. The squad's out nice and early, though. And the circle is far east. So no worries on that Sosnovka finish. Alter Ego get the head up towards that north side around Lipovka Mansion split. So they should have a decent start in this game.
Yeah, that east side will be the focus now.
Point tables का है. Hello, casters. Hello.
Nice.
Hello, broadcaster.
Point table. No roadblocks around those bridges. Now, we were looking a lot at the Falcons over that last match, right? And Doran was looking at them too. But the thing that they really adjusted in those last 2 matches was the speed at which they rotated in the start of the match, right? Away from Pachinki. They have to rotate again this match. The question is, will it be as fast without the pressure of a military circle?
To be honest with you, I don't think so. I don't think so. Unless something has drastically changed within the calling structure of the team, I don't think it's going to be a fast rotate from them. I think that the odd thing for the Falcons is how are they going to bounce back after that last game? Getting 1v4'd is never a good feeling, even in your games at home. It feels even worse on a global stage. I do think for the Falcons, they might be reeling from that. Again, it's unfortunate because I think the other games today were pretty good, honestly, and fairly successful. And even that rotate there was not the incorrect decision. And I'm hoping it doesn't set up a mental block for them going forward, because it certainly could do. I think for the Wolves, that game might have cleared those heads, though. Right, that's the big thing. You can be happy with how Doran performed there, and hope to do him proud in this game.
I mean, the difficulty, though, for all of those teams is that third place is still moving, and Go on 112 has a little bit of a lead. We were saying it before, right, that at this point, if they're able to get 10 more points in today's matches, they've got 3 matches to do just that. They're locked in. They're pretty much locked in already. It is a question of who's going to join them. And all the way down to the Falcons have a really solid chance of getting there. Right? With a good game, they're on top of that pack. From 112 down to 96. I mean, you know, it's not easy, but a 16-point gap can be made up fairly quickly if you're able to get into those late games.
Goat's hold is tenuous.
नहीं उससे कोई दिक्कत नहीं है क्या कह रहा
in third place. D plus being 10 points behind Alpha Gaming is certainly not something I would have predicted after the end of day one. But here we are.
मेरा फोटो नहीं है तो मेरा ऐसे जैसे देख समझ ना ये कमर है ऐसे यूं रखा है उसने मेरे से यूं करा कि सीधी कर उसने यूं कर दी मेरी ऐसा करा तेरे को अब दर्द हो रहा नहीं हो चट नहीं हो हड्डी ना बाहर निकल रही है ऐसे हो गया हूं मैं मेरे को ऐसे होना है और सीधा होना है लाइक ऐसे कर तो है लेकिन ऐसे हो गया हूं इसलिए यूं हो गया मेरा टेढ़ा और उसने ऐसे किया सही गया कोई इशू नहीं है बस तुम्हारी उम्र है अभी खुद ही कर लो
Though at any moment there is this case that any moment Goat could
ये
change
देख
that.
अपन 64 पे हैं वो
20-point game in any of our next 3 matches.
अपन 14 पे हैं
very hard to catch up to them.
83 कितने का डिफरेंस हो गया ये
It's still
19 पॉइंट का
reach to really say
20 पॉइंट का डिफरेंस
who are top
64
are looking likely to be. We know who two of them
दोनों मैच तगड़े चाहिए
yeah absolutely and then down towards 11th
3 मैच बचे हैं इसको मिला के
there is a bit of danger there. It's in general less likely that they'll find those big 20 pointers, but it's definitely possible, right?
अगर ये 20 पॉइंट का गेम हुआ तो जाके हमारे 85 होंगे तब तो हम आएंगे.
It'll be difficult for OG and Reject to make it, but it's still just sort of on the doorstep. But certainly GS have a chance. Loops, GS, Gen G, sorry, and 97G. They're sort of in this state of flux right now with GS definitely behind that pack, but whose spot would they take with a big game? That remains to be seen.
परसों से है वो 2 से आई थिंक 2 साल को बोला सीख लो भाई ने देख
Let's take a look at the center of the circle.
सीख लो यार भाई मैकेनिकली नहीं है इतने तगड़े मैकेनिकली नहीं है इतने तगड़े
Scouting D plus also moving their way in. Reject so far have done a fairly good job.
अपनी गन पावर मैं तेरे से सामने बनी में जा रहा हूं
up towards the top side of the
power अपनी shot
at least not the top side at all. But currently in 13th place. They're still a hefty 18 points behind though. And that again, there's a lot of points to be gained. It does require Loops to not have a great game either. So for Reject, they just have to keep pushing
कश्मीरी मिक्सचर
all
बहुत
day.
ही प्यारी
GS is a
लगती है
little bit
मेरे
of
को
an easier story.
थोड़ी सी होगी पर पाले जी
From
बिस्कुट है
71 up to 83 and we've seen GS make
रात में बनाते हैं अंडा
fairly
करी
decent
चावल
maneuvers.
खाएगा
It's still feeling hit or miss with that squad. For OG, only 1 point behind Reject. I think OG is the cutoff of teams that are able to get in towards last chance here. Being at 64 points. But again, that is another strong set of 3 games for that squad.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
अबे जो ये ना टीम जो नंबर 3 पे इस टाइम
thinking about that bubble
इसको 1v3 करके आए
bubble end being somewhere around the 90s, maybe low 90s, could be pushing up a little bit, especially given where we sit right now.
और जहां 1v3 गया उसके जस्ट
very difficult to
15 मीटर दूर अपने वो बैठा था
40 points in 3 matches
कैंप करके
for Team Secret.
मतलब कैंप नहीं मतलब बस सोलो
points. No. It's impossible. Even though they're going to win the next 3 matches back to back, you're just not. It's just not happening. Imagine, you get 3 20-point games back to back, and you still don't even qualify.
सीधे सेंटर पकड़ने जा रहे थे जब दिख रहा है ना जब चौथे जोन की बात ना लगता है ना कि तुम पे सेंटर नहीं बनेगा जोन तो कोई नहीं आएगा तो तुमको एज की टीम होगी ना उसको मारना ही पड़ेगा या उसको लो करके फिर तुम्हें उसका रास्ता बनाना पड़ेगा याद है कि जब हमने सेंटर लिया था एंड में आके जिसमें हम सेकंड आए थे जब मैं तू या सर वो थे हम रुके थे जोन के बाद कितना रुकवाया था मैंने तुमको कि रुक चलेंगे तभी हमको रास्ता खाली मिला था क्योंकि एज की टीम चली गई थी
that would be nasty news.
अभी एज की टीम का ध्यान ही नहीं देते घुस गए
Alter Ego really want these points though. You can see where they are on the tables right now. 5th place. They were up in 3rd. They've been up in 2nd as well. They've been dancing around that top bubble. But now they're in 5th with a team 1 point ahead of them, a team 1 point behind them, and plenty more behind that.
अपन यार इसमें आ गए ना कॉर्पोरेट में अपन को वही है यही रखते हैं मैं तो स्ट्रीमिंग इसलिए करता हूं कि कंटेंट क्रिएशन में चल जाए
Goats moving in on the southwest side with APG behind them. The circle goes back out.
हर्ष ये 2 सर्कल हैं एक यहाँ वाला ये वाला जो बनता है एक ये मिल्टा के इधर वाला जो बनता है ऊपर जो लकड़ी होगी आ गया लोग हेलो
I think if you head over towards Miramar, as we've seen multiple times, some of the circles are so hectic. And the big thing about it is not the fact that it can't be played well, but you get towards the end games where the circle can really only support 5 teams. at most, and that's around about stage 6, stage 7. So there's less chance of you. Unlike Erangel, where you get to stage 6, stage 7, you can have like 8 or 9 teams in those circles, which gives a lot more chance to our squads to have a strong finish there. But you might just be cut out by luck, essentially, in Miramar, whether you can make it or not. You need to make sure now on this last Erangel that you secure that position and make it a little bit easier for yourself, basically giving yourself a buffer going in towards Miramar. That's most important for GOAT right now, because they already have a small lead. They could extend that out further. Their life becomes so much easier on Miramar because they can just play it slow.
Yeah, it's potential to be a little bit more relaxed there. You'd love to see. You do not want that pressure of knowing, oh, we need to get like a 17 elim game here to do something on these tables, etc. It's really nerve-wracking.
ओए विजगोड का घूम रहा है ये. हेलो पिटेगा क्या भैंस की आंख? कहां घूम रहा है बाबाजी में? वुल्फ्स के बगल से निकल रहा है.
Linear down the center of this circle, blank. That Yas field presence being really felt on that west side. Everyone wants access to the mansion fields if it goes northeast. It does start to splay out down towards farm, down towards.
हां मैं बोला था मैंने डीके आएगी. और देखिए ऑल्टरी वो इस मैच को निकल के वो भी टॉप 3 में आ जाएगी.
Much along the road south of Yasnaya.
ऑल्टरी को टॉप ने घूम के मार दिया.
In secret, you find loot.
Yeah, I see the 3 top 5
deal, especially for the 11th place position. Rafina.
यार ये टीम सीक्रेट के बदले सारे बदल गए यार, यूआई वगैरह और
They will look to see if
नहीं पूरे रोस्टर ही बदला हुआ है टीम सीक्रेट.
You have to hit that finally.
तो लाया जोला. दूध रखा है उसने फ्रिज में.
Driving there coming through from Team Secret. Even if they can't make the points work, they'll try and look pretty doing it.
अरे वो लेयर नमकीन निकाल लियो कश्मीर में.
A decent chunk out of loops and very likely to pick up another point at least. So well done them. Congratulations.
Well, the big thing is that getting 2 players out from 11th place, the 11th place.
Please mention Galun. Please भाई अपनी टीम बहुत अच्छी पोजीशन है. Please भोले.
Stops from progressing too much and gives you.
भोले. Yes, मैं तुम्हें बोला था mention Galun है. भाई प्लीज अभी एक साथ हो जाओ भाई, स्प्लिट मत खेलो. वो कंपाउंड अच्छा है, बहुत अच्छा कंपाउंड.
This is a really strong chance for them.
भाई ओजी भाई ये होना भाई ये होना.
Absolutely, they need to regroup properly though. If they don't find it in time, teams will start to crunch in. Goat moving in from the southwest side with the Falcons out to their west. Wolves on the northwest of this still D+ ahead of them. Goat do have a challenge here.
नहीं तो शेल्टर वाली जगह.
Really have too many options and Gen.
डी के जा रही है वहीं, D+ के जा रही है वहीं.
The building that Killer Joe was trying to scout out. Papara Supermassive. I mean, you can't stop off there, really. It's too close to the edge of the circle. Want to get a little bit further. The 2 from Loops. GS. Everybody's sending now.
You've got to do. I mean, this is an awkward area of the map to be playing in. Still have Mansion in play. No one really wants to go for that just yet. They're waiting for the circle to make a true decision on where it's finishing. D+ just sends center. They're quite happy with that one to play in that position. Again, Alpha Gaming down towards that southeast side, playing it more towards the edge here. They will have to sweep through teams, but it's a team that has the capability to do that massively.
No one getting fully stuck into a fight just yet. But I mean, it is APG really on this eastern side. Not sweep through, maybe. Probably the first team to face Alter Ego potentially around this.
12 under है total.
Tianba.
12-13.
Still got 4 players alive. You know, they're fine. They're doing okay. They can still do it. I believe. Well, don't even know if I believe myself on that one.
You are quite optimistic today, honestly.
Yeah, let's go with that. Let's go with that. Loops trying to move on through and actually finding an opener to Papara Supermassive.
Yeah, 1 point. That's 2 players is good. Definitely good. But Papara Supermassive losing a player there to a 2-man team is pretty rough. Playing alongside this ditch. Sits around the dead trees. It's a okay position. Put it that way. Will require smokes though to keep teams off your back. Also easily crashable. Your outpost as well is also gone due to loops, which does make this a bit more awkward.
अबे ये पेड़
Waiting for stage 4 now to pop.
फाइट हो रही है अच्छा मैं कह रहा हूं पेड़ पे
Wolves on the northwest. 102 points after that game.
गाड़ी में चला गया
True heroes performance from Doran to sit them there.
I mean, I'm surprised that the teams have managed to compact themselves into this area. I mean, the blue zone isn't quite fully upon APG, and maybe that's going to be the go time.
Okay, APG knock hai.
Can't find the shots, and it's actually Tiamba to draw.
Ore nade hai bhai, QZ bhai nade hai.
And Nathan for the top is huge, gets the flush, and another knock to APG. The circle sends all the way down to the southwest, so OG are going to have to move. Can't play that Evan combat anymore.
अबे ये बहुत गंदी टिप है यार, ये बहुत गंदी टिप है.
And for Falcons, and maybe even for
Reject. वही बचती है. कैसे जाएगा?
It's pretty good.
DK पे तो जा नहीं सकते
I mean, Reject being able to move in from that south side's massive. Also, big chance here now for D+ to get ahead, right? Get first place. First place over in PMGC 2024. Now looking to top the tables here in Group Green.
छोड़ना, राइट मुड़ना है, जनाब राइट ऐसे मुड़ते हैं ये रोड है. हमको इस रोड पे जाके ऐसे मुड़ना है, जनाब आते हैं यूं. उधर की गाड़ी भी साथ में जनाब. अरे भाई की ड्राइव देख के मेरा खतरा के मेरी.
Very promising. On this next circle.
I mean, it's kind of nasty.
भाई देखते हैं क्या रोटेशन लगाते हैं.
Maybe GS.
वो डिप है तो अच्छी लेकिन उस डिप पे बहुत बसड़ होती है.
Closest to chasing down. Well, I mean, they're trying to get away from this hilltop, but Alter Ego actually set up towards this fight. Right there, and they're losing all of their players now. Over towards just Alpha now remaining. That's not fun.
Yeah, more as in like, why is Tiamba suddenly insane?
मेरे को पानी चाहिए होता है.
Like, not why are they bad, because this is crazy.
वो सही है देख अपने लिए अच्छा हो रहा है. लूप्स पिट गई है. एक ही बंदा बचा लूप्स.
The tough parts of the lobby here.
लूप्स पिटे, जेंजी पिटे, 9ZZs पिटे. मार अलवा मार.
ले Alva. And Alva, I don't think he survives here.
Genzi.
No. They're done and dusted. Fifth
place
at the end of this match with 2 Miramars left to play. I mean, they're just going to hope that Nice E go down as well, aren't they? And the Wolves. I mean, and actually half the lobby. It would be great for Alter Ego if you could all just, stop playing right now. They'd love that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there has been a little bit of lackluster performance from Alter Ego
Iko versus 9ZZ
as well, where you look at those circles, it's been really rough finding it to play a decent one, and it's very open. It's a hard rotate for them too. They get caught off towards prison with 2 teams playing around that location. 2 teams, which I might add, have basically nothing to lose here. As well. Team Secret and Tiamba being extremely aggressive.
Rising of the Ocean Sea का हम ये कर रहे हैं. लॉन्डे हम.
I'm sure there, but GS crashing. 2 teams chasing for that 11th place bubble. GS moving down towards Sarah, but he has got that outpost to reposition away back towards the rest of his team. Will he be able to do so safely, securely? Regi though, not so lucky. Spotted on the off angle and immediately flushed away as well. And that's a point added to the tally for GS with loops going low, down to 1 player. They definitely want to make this game a big one.
मेरे को लग रहा है वो वाली डिप ले ली उन्होंने. जो होता है ना रिज पे जो कंपाउंड होता है ना, जो ऐसी वाली जो होती है वैसी वाली उसके अंदर जो कंपाउंड होता है.
From the northern side.
जब इधर की तरफ आते हैं.
But Tiamba's not done yet.
वो बढ़िया कोलगेट को नॉक किया. कोलगेट जो भी है और फिनिश भी कर दिया. बहुत बढ़िया आतंकी. वेरी नाइस. भाई नीड देख. हाँ देख मैं तेरे को बता रहा था वो कंपाउंड होता है ना उधर की तरफ ये वाला जब आते हो वहीं से बढ़िया अले आतंकी नॉक हो गया. ले चल सही है. नारवेलो से नॉक हुआ हो जाएगा भाई. वो बढ़िया. Wolves के बैटमैन को नॉक किया खेलना बहुत प्यारा. भाई हो जाएगा.
Nice pick up there. Wolves trying to make the dash now across the open ground. OG.
मार. भाई कैसे मिस हुआ ये क्यों हुआ यार?
For AKOP doesn't quite connect for
यार ये तो नॉक होना था.
Slows the Wolves down a lot more. They've got 20 seconds to get back up and into fighting form.
नहीं रश मत करना. फैल्कन बैठी हुई है फील्डिंग से जाके. रश नहीं करना है.
Where do they go right now?
नहीं भाई एक टोपी भाई ये पिटेगा.
To the north of Shelter, to the north and the west of Mansion.
मैं यहाँ से किल उठाओ बस. वुल्व्स तो खत्म है. तो यहाँ से वुल्व्स दोनों टीम को पीट गई तो भाई फिर तो भाई क्रेजी हो जाएगा.
looking for a little bit of
देख ये डिप, देख यही डिप बचती है फाइनली आके, इसी डिप पे ही आना है, आएंगे इसी पे ही आना है, ये जहाँ APG और 9Z रुकी ना यही डिप बचती है। मार 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 मार, दिख रहा है, बढ़िया बढ़िया।
They are pincered at the moment.
Certainly are. Tiamba taking down Papa.
नहीं मिले, एक किल तो मिला है, आई थिंक एक किल मिला है।
Oh, that's all the way out the back actually. So Bond might actually be a full casualty. Crashing
टॉप को मारा। कौन नॉक कौन पड़ा हुआ है? एक ही नॉक पड़ा, एक ही को उठा के गाड़ी में उठा लाओ। आरू आ गया मस्त पोजीशन पे, आ गया भाई आरू, ये भाई अपना गेम है।
I think it's just Bat now remaining. Meanwhile, in the picture, the south
वो
side
डिप जो रीजे ऐसे वाली, मैं तो बता रहा था ना ये वाली।
And GS, those two teams looking to chase for that 11th place bubble. I don't quite know who's in the lead right now.
नहीं मरा नहीं,
feel like GS might have this one. Reject taking heavy casualties.
Apollo
चारों जिंदा, 3 किल है, बहुत प्यारा।
And that is it, done and dusted.
भाई देख ये जो 10वीं और 11वीं टीम है ना, इनको एक भी पॉइंट ना मिलना चाहिए।
But GS do profit off the back of that. 4 elims on that game.
ओ अपने नीड आ रहे हैं आरू भाई, अरे स्पियन 3 नीड आए, अबे यार 3 नीड आए अपने पे।
Good nades coming through from 9Z over towards OG as they try to cross the road.
It's a difficult crossing, certainly. I'm just looking.
ये निकालनी है, डबल फाइट होगी, ले फंस गए अपन, डबल फाइट होगी अपन की। उधर से फाल्कन भी मार रही है, ये निकालनी पड़ेगी अगर भाई PMGC में अगर खेलना है तो ये फाइट निकालनी। अरे मां क्या मरे गए, आरू खत्म है, फिनिश आरू खत्म है। भाई नीड कर दे आतंकी, करियो
also heavily suffering.
थोड़ा जल्दी कर दिया, अरे 1 HP भाई, वेज बॉडी 1 HP।
Could be beautiful. Vulcan's having a tough time in the meantime as well. On the other side of it, the other flank against OG, and they find our Valor.
I mean, Valor's been down for a little while.
भाई दोनों तरफ से पिन डाउन है यार।
OG you take quite a bit of damage there from the Falcons. It was instantly healed back up again. Redox does get knocked though.
मार बढ़िया वेज बॉट, बहुत प्यारा।
Good shot there coming through from
नहीं चढ़ो मत यार, ओपन में क्यों चढ़ रहे हो?
Now we'll just Ralph remain.
अरे बहुत प्यारा,
Very nice. That's exactly what they do.
6 किल, बहुत प्यारा।
Well done.
But the next move again, they are trapped on this north side. Goat have to move as well.
6 किल, बहुत प्यारा।
Do they want to try and stymie OG or do
they? 9Z आ रही है, पकड़ सालों को, पकड़। अरे भाई वेज गॉड भाई, मजा आ गया, पकड़ मारो से मार सामने दिख रहा है। 1v1 ओह बहुत बढ़िया, नो किल हो गए भाई बढ़िया, कमबैक है। ये हर्षवा कहां से बोल रहा? ये हर्षवा पीछे बैठा है ये रहा।
Really good stuff. Again, Tanky is definitely my favorite.
भाई बहुत ही प्यारा गेम। अब तो देखिए बस सिर्फ ना हर एक ही चीज बची है, गाड़ी उठाओ, जैसी जोन कटे जेंजी वाले कंपाउंड पे क्रैश मारो, और नहीं है, पूरी ओपन जगह है वो जोन मारने के लिए।
Plus though they send across, there is shots from Gen G. I think D+ trying to finish off that fight between them and OG, but seeing their teammates getting blasted out.
अबे DK ने भी रश कर दिया भाई, ऐसे में वही हो सकता है।
Sees them run back towards the rest of the team. Tiamba still taking shots, but it's Gen G to do most of the work.
Gen G वर्सेस DK हो रहा है, रश मार दे, मैं कहां भी घुस जा।
For Gen G, this is a big deal for them. They get a chicken dinner on this game. That does shoot them back up into the hundreds alongside a lot of other squads.
हाँ यही देख पूरी नहीं देख, ये देख यहाँ पे और कोई जगह है नहीं, ये देख रहा है यहाँ पे ये पूरा ओपन हिल है, देख रहा है पूरा ओपन हिल है, यहीं घुसना पड़ेगा किसी कंपाउंड में। हाँ बस गाड़ी उठाओ, घुस जाओ।
A little bit more happy because they are in the circle on this next rotate. D+ with 1 player.
नहीं लास्ट बचा है चिप्स।
Trying to rack up as many players as they
क्लॉस को
can.
नॉक किया।
Out the open. Will be taken down.
नहीं नॉक किया किसी और को, जेंजी के नॉक किया, जहां रश करना। हाँ बस आगे मैं बोला था यहीं करे सोना है, बस नीड से नहीं फटना प्लीज। जय बाबा की।
For OG, this looks
मरे
खत्म. I mean, they are trying things today, and I like it. I really do like it. Tanky now on the side wall. WizGod has to move up in the vehicle.
अबे यार पीछे से आईसी मारेगी अब।
Little bit too far, but a nice Molotov will.
अरे भाई बचे।
Sat down on the side. Nate goes a little far again from Gen G, but GS.
अबे कोई और टीम आ जाओ यार उधर से।
And look at it go crashing into IC. That's the battle for third place.
फट फटेगा बढ़िया बढ़िया डामी फटा
Dangerous stuff as Gen G. Look at
दो बचे
Look at it keep this crash going. IC hopping out but can't quite find on the spray down. And there's a chime in from Tianba who is still alive.
बढ़िया कोई नहीं बचाऊंगा हील कर अपने हील कर
Fights happening right now.
नहीं हील कर
At once. But on the south side, it's Ghost.
बढ़िया अरे टियानमा घूम के आ गई भाई मीलू भाई नहीं मीलू भाई नहीं है भाई अभी तो नहीं दिख रहे मीलू भाई मत मारियो लाला मीलू लाला मत कर मीलू लाला मत कर उन्हेड़ है मार मीलू मार मीलू मार इसको मार जेंजी को अबे यार अरे भाई नेड़ अच्छा मीलू का नेड़ है थैंक यू मीलू भाई अरे मीलू मारेगा बच गया भाई क्रेजी है
Oh, he's dodging down there. Goat may be onto a winner though, Black, with Gen G starting to wane. This could be the time that they solidify that third place.
10 किल हैं अपने अरे यार
everyone in the lobby.
बढ़िया गेम अपन 10th आए मतलब 5th आए 10th किल मतलब 10 6 5 4 3 13 पॉइंट का गेम आया बढ़िया गेम ऐसे निकाल ले दोनों गेम
Two more maps to play. And an 8-point difference between them and Loops, who sit still on the bubble.
Oh, come on. That was... You shooting above him, dude. It's not that big of a drop-off. Finally gets the job done. Yeah, for Goat, you're absolutely right in terms of maybe they can finish here. The big thing is this. 14 elims from Tiamba is extremely silly.
मैं टियानमा गेमिंग कहां से मारना शुरू कर दी इनको कब याद आ गई इनके 64 पॉइंट
I mean
ये भी आ गए भाई 70 पॉइंट
I mean it kind of does right on a 85 point bubble
तीसरे जोन
on 64 when you've added
चौथे जोन पे सारी टीमें रोटेट करती हैं मैं तो गाड़ी घुमाती मर जाऊंगा अबे कहेगा मार
They're definitely going to be less than 20 points, fewer than 20 behind that bubble going into our Miramar stage. The question is, how much further can they go? Because they're out in the blue zone, and they do.
The big thing now for Go is if
हेलो भाई लिफ्ट मिलेगी क्या बीच में पे खड़े भाई लिफ्ट मिलेगी क्या
might have just secured our top 3. It would be a big outside chance on both our Miramars for any other teams underneath them.
अगर हम सीरियस खेलें तो हो तो सकता
towards the northeast side, it might still all be to play.
हाँ अपन क्या खेलते हैं 1v1
नहीं मत चलो ना हम तो परेशान हो गए Go covering that run out. Satan has the inside of the building, kind of on lock, so Tiamba not actually going to go for the push. They know they don't need to commit to going for it. Good placement and an Elim if they can go in and find that last player for Gen G, but they can wait for him to leave instead.
It does all come down to the shift here. And it's away from them. So now go.
भाई गोट अच्छा खेल रही है भाई ये गोट वाले बंदे अच्छा खेल रहे हैं यार कहां के हैं
Slight resupply there.
भाई ये फिर से आगे टॉप 4
Felt dangerous there. Thought Cracker was going to peek out, take the shots, but I think the wall just covering it off. Very, very tense.
It's such open ground that Go have to cross. But which of these players are going to take shots?
Yes, तो गई अपने सुपर बहुत.
I think if it was a 3-man
Hurts Nemesis Assaulter Ashish.
Go absolutely.
अने Hurts Nemesis Assaulter Ashish Ajiel Alok Camper. PMGC fix.
But because it's 3 separate teams on the outside, I think Go might
PMGC fix. Trophy यहाँ रखी है इधर.
Nation. From all 3 of
नहीं हर तो नेमेसिस का असॉल्ट है मतलब आगे घुटने वाले
नेमेसिस के साथ असॉल्ट होगा
आशीष राजियल आलोक
really worrisome. They are the main team that has to move, but GS have to let their last player out. And remember, GS also chasing for that bubble.
आलोक भाई शेक में बैठे हुए हैं हम तेरे लोग को मार बंदा देख रहा है मार चुप बैठ रहने दे नहीं मारूंगा देख रहा है लोग ये गेम प्ले करने होता है गाड़ी लगा के स्मोक करके दिमाग का भाई चौधर हो जाता है पुत्र गिर जाएगा मारते
actually stretch out themselves.
आओ
come on Tiamba how's your time to peak? Nathan's just been so quiet on the inside. It actually might let Go get up to the wall, in which case it may not have mattered the circle pushing away from either of these squads. But look how open this ground is. ESO not taking any shots either just yet. He basically smokes for Goat too.
Goat क्या है? अगले स्प्रे में पता
चलेगा. Close dead center. It's going to start now, and teams have to move. The smoke's lining up.
उरे भाई. उसने नॉक कर दिया.
दिख गया. So far you play like that. That's huge. Finding that off angle, finding a knock against Go, that brings it into a 2v2v1 now. The res needs to come through. Tiamba, stop this.
भाई अच्छा खेल रही है टीम गोट की. जो भी ये पहली बार देख रहा हूँ मैं इस टीम को. ये जा रहा है मेरे को लग रहा है. अल्टर ईगो से अच्छा खेल रहे हैं आज के दिन.
Or Go are going to be back up as 3 up into the wall and Satan is
still there. He's crossing the
Kraken. He's able to find it. Satan goes low. He's been spotted aching with the angle on towards him. Looking to keep that spray going.
पूरे भाई नीड है. मुंह पे नीड है ले.
But they only have the one player to stand, and the nades from Go over the top seal the deal, and they might have just guaranteed Goat's spot in the grand finals. What a close down on the game. Tiamba making waves.
Alok, Manish, Atul, camping bro, Max. भाई ऐसा ना कैंप करके वो PMGC जीत रहे हो. कुछ नहीं यार, गाड़ी ली सेंटर में घुसेड़ दी और अतुल बैठ के 120 पे से लेके आन दे.
That's coming across from the side, because honestly that's an international
और इनका आईपीएल अमरीश ओपन में लेट के DP20
with the biggest target first in the lobby, and then you as the solos can fight against one another for the win, right? But that way everyone goes down at separate orders in low placings, and you limit yourself on elims too. I think it's a weird one. It's definitely a weird one.
Yeah, it's a really weird ending there, but Goat with the goods.
अपन क्या हो गया? बाहर ही हो गए. 77 पॉइंट. Goat team ले. Vic.
And when the going gets tough and everything is on the line, Goat pull out a chicken dinner. This could be the one that seals the deal for them and gives them that trip on over to the grand finals, Max. What a game from Goat.
I mean, it's not just a great game. This is a team Hodrix that dropped in Primorsk, almost a complete opposite side of the map. And they go for a quick pivot. And what stood out to me is not just that early game rotation. Their terrain knowledge was second to none this match on a rank. They knew what position on the western side of Museum they could use in their favor.
World Cup काफी महंगा पड़ेगा.
All the teams could see orangutan.
मैं नहीं जा रहा कहीं भी.
All those western teams just did not want to get in a 200-meter radius of Goat because that position was so damn strong. And you can see by some of the damage here from the players. Kraken, Twigs, Vic, Niptura taking almost no damage this game because their fights were so one-sided.
Yeah, really nice show, and you're right. They went onto that western side, they got a great position, and they were just able to clear teams, just very methodical. I think that's really the name of the game so far in the group green stage, right, is just this methodical attitude towards the rest of the lobby. They're not going full sends, they're just taking it slow, one at a time with those timings as well. Another really good game from Go, and that is why they're in the top 3 currently.
I mean, such a clutch performance for them. And not to mention, right, that was from the top of the leaderboards, our 3rd place team. But man, this game really just showed the desperation and tenacity of our bottom squads, man. You saw Tiamba go crazy with a bunch of eliminations. OG get a bunch of eliminations. GS as well. You can see they're trying to do everything they can. It's just so difficult with this point lead from loops, right? They're
Assassin's Creed का कोई अच्छा गेम बता खेलने के लिए. वो Black Flag 4 खेल रहे हैं, मैं वो खेलूंगा.
Please, that is 4v1, just one extra point. And you know what? A point might just be the difference maker at the end of the day between 11th and 12th position. Who continues in the last chance and who is sent home?
वो Devolver ने 2 छक्के मार दिया क्या?
Is here to seal their fate as we start.
अरे यार ये एक ओपी गलती.
Museum all over the place. Oh my goodness. D plus Kia going full send onto Gen G. In my opinion, the crash was very poorly executed. Keeping chips as an off-ramp on a flat train like this for me is the wrong decision, Niptura. And then Orangutan, more opportunistic, right? Looking to go for a third party. I appreciated that play.
I did, but again, it was just a little bit too late, right? They tried to do something there on the opposite side, trying to just pincer Gen G there, but it just wasn't gonna work. The timing was way off there, but we see these rotations, Max. You're right? Goat over in Primorsk, a complete opposite side of the map there from everybody else.
They better get a lot of fuel to make that rotation. They have to loot a lot of those to make sure those cards are still in working condition. Here, playing really adamant to play these high ground positions in this spot on the map, and then they go for the side next to OP Dip. And this is the terrain knowledge I was talking about. That position they had. It's so hard for teams to breach you entering from the western side. So they just held it down, protected themselves with the cars, and you can see it's so hard for teams to breach you entering from the western side. So they just held it down, protected themselves with the cars, and you can see Orangutan. They did not want to have to deal with the side of Ghost. They're like, oh, well, Museum, there's a fight with D+. We'll go for that instead because Go, that position is way too strong. And Go, knowing the Orangutan left, they fight IC instead in that compound. And then, boom, full control of the southern western side. Easy peasy wrap up for that chicken dinner on Goat's side.
20 points on the board. I mean, that is what they needed. Tiamba put up 20 as well. I mean, you can tell they're just trying to pull out all the stops here.
They
really are some really good shows from Tiamba. It's just a little too late. Just a little too late. Just 2 games left for them to put up. I mean, we're talking about them having to put up an equal number of points in both the upcoming Miramars for them to really have a shot at the top 11, right? At going to last chance. So that's just going to be so difficult. But hey, better late than never, I suppose. Like what we saw from them, that's the Tiamba we're used to seeing. Hopefully, we can see that again in the next game.
I agree. I personally, with how chaotic I know these last 2 matches are going to be, especially the last match for sure, I think it's done and dusted for Tiamba. But that just goes to say, right? If they somehow make it happen, it will be the comeback of the entire year, Max.
I mean, rejects. Why 0 points? Alter-Ego. Why 0 points? Oh, we were having some good momentum yesterday for Alter-Ego, today for rejects. No follow through on this game. It was definitely not an easy match for this team. I do have to say, if you had to be sent very early, like your Gen G, like your D+, not follow through. Hopefully that could be the case going into those Miramar matches. Though, congrats to Killer Joe for your game MVP. 4 eliminations, very important on his fight actually during that push. Pakistani team that shall not be named. Actually, is currently in 4th position. And they are currently in the cutoff. Here, they would not make it to the grand finals, just barely. We need to see a comeback from those guys.
I'm gonna tell you right now. Okay, Neptura, I'm gonna ask you this real quick. Sorry to cut you.
11 पे qualify है अगले round के लिए.
From GOAT to IC, that's a 25 point difference. All right, we got 2 matches left to go. We know how crazy the last match is going to be.
ये देख.
Right?
वो DKPG देख रहा है.
These teams, I'm looking at you, IC, all the way down to Wolves. You have to do something different. A regular game of PUBG Mobile isn't going to get you in the grand finals, right? What would you suggest? I want to hear from both you guys, right? What would you suggest for a team like IC, right, to have to do in order to make it into those grand finals and possibly take
गोट वाले बंदे अच्छा खेल रहे हैं मैं जो भी टीम है.
Oh, that's a really tough answer. I don't know necessarily that they should do anything different. I think the way IC have been playing has been pretty consistent so far today. Alter-Ego, I think, do need to step up and try and get more placement, more of that end-game positioning, end-game presence. For IC, I would say just up the ante a little bit here. Not be more careful, but just be a little bit more persistent with their plays.
Max, agree with that?
I would agree. I'm just looking at the hot drops locations right now. So GOAT have a hot drop in common in El Pozo with Falcons. Now that could be a very impactful one. If GOAT go out early, that could open up the floodgates for some of these teams to do a final last-ditch effort to get in the top 3. If you're GOAT though, Hodrix, now we're going on the opposite side. No, they know they might be targeted. They can't afford to go out early. I would say you change your drop location. You go Ruins, you go Tierra Bronca, you go Campo Militar, you go Prison. For all I care, you don't take the hot drop. Otherwise, you are throwing massively. If I see it happen, go. for me, I don't want to see in the finals. Sorry, that would be the throw of a lifetime.
Yeah, I gotta agree. I think that GOAT should definitely mix things up here because personally, I mean, we've seen too much esports at this point, right? I think if you're if you do the same thing and just try to end it up, I don't think you're making it. Like without a doubt, there's no chance. 25 points is too big to cross. You've done this all year long, right? Why not try to get to the finals here and now? Don't even worry about last stage, right? So last chance. So if you're IC, I'm not gonna say hot drop, right? I don't think you're gonna hot drop, right? But no, do something to possibly camp out a rotation. You got to figure out a way to take this team out early. Because if they put up 5 points, I think it's over. Right?
Yeah.
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 So they need zero. They need zero, right? So, I mean, honestly, if I see IC or any of these teams going down, and this is how I feel about it, right? I don't even want to see in the grand finals. I don't. Like, I hate it. It's the worst thing ever. You got to do something different. Right, I mean, if this was PMSL, you don't want to like, you know, upset other teams. Fine, but this is where the big money is on the line. Come on.
Okay, chat. We're sorry. He's very passionate right now. Okay, he's a bit angsty. Okay, just he'll relax after this game. Don't worry.
Yes, it'll be fine. Yeah. It's fine. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine for GOAT if they put up 5 points. I'll tell you that right now.
Calm down, Hot Troops. Let us talk. Okay, so it's too much. We need to hold him back. Oh my goodness. You know what, Niptra? I think that genuinely to have a bit of a conversation on what Hodrix is talking about. Do you want to go for the hard drop and take that risk? I would not recommend it.
No.
I just don't want to see a full squad out of those teams that are competing for top 3 get towards the late stage, circle 5, 6, and just play hyper passive. Placement points aren't going to cut it. You need to frag out, and late game, we need to see some strong presence here on these Miramar matches.
We do, and I think it's for those 3 teams in particular, right? GOAT, Inner Circle, and Alter Ego. Those 3 teams in particular have a very similar playstyle when it comes to the late game. They play mid to edge. So you're going to see all 3 of those teams actually on the edge of the circle trying to farm out other teams and spread and split in the end game. If one of those teams can catch GOAT early before they do that, or in that push to go split on the edge, they actually find GOAT, see them in the Elim feed, and head to their direction. That could be a huge rotational sort of backstab that doesn't include the risk of a hot drop to me. So I would love to see both those teams do that.
Definitely. If we have one of these teams that are chasing the top 3 and you see in the elimination feed when you flush out a player, that is GOAT. I want you to, and you have all your players in a healthy condition, I want to see you just rush them right away.
Yes.
If we don't see that, for me, you don't have what it takes, Hot Jukes, to be a grand finalist team.
I agree. That's what I'm talking about, right? I'm not saying the hot drop, but if you even get the slightest scent, right, that GOAT is near you, you need to be headed in that direction without a shadow of a doubt, because a chicken dinner, 10 eliminations ain't going to do it if GOAT puts up 5 points here. Now, that's the top, right? Now, to survive to the last chance, I think GS needs to do the same thing with loops, right? I mean, reject, it's such a big point difference. It's gonna, I think too many things need to happen, right? And the same goes for, you know, like Tianba. But I mean, I want to see something different from the teams at the bottom as well. And since you have so many squads having to do that, these last 2 matches are going to be insane, Neptura.
Yeah, they are. I mean, if Rejects had Tiamba's game in that last Erangel, we would see probably a very different storyline coming through if Rejects able to get into the top 11. But the way it's looking, I think both Tiamba and RC are just not looking where they need to be for that next 2 game push rather. So GS and OG still, they've kept themselves in the running today. I think both those teams need to be targeting loops, targeting 9Z as well. And those 2 teams, 9Z and loops, they got to be careful, man.
I agree. I mean, so just to reaffirm, okay, loops, yeah, they're 3 points away from GS, so that's mighty close. All right. OG are good, about 8 away. Tianba are 15 away, right? So Tianba, you know, Rejects, those guys definitely got to do something crazy here. But I mean, it's going to be a crazy last 2 matches for sure. And honestly, my eyes are going to be on GOAT to see how they perform in this game. I think if they put up like 5 points, they're going to be solid. Loops, however, 10-point game. I think Loops, if you put up a 10-point game here, going to the last match, they should feel good. They should feel pretty good.
I would agree. I would agree on that one. I'm looking at the point difference right now. You could even say middle of the rankings. Blaze Falcons technically top 3 is not impossible. I know it's very annoying. I was going to say it normally never changes at the end of the day. You always change the same. Yeah, which is true. But that one time it does happen. Oh my goodness, that would be a hell of a story. So yeah, Falcons, Papara Supermassive Blaze, Wolves, Genji. I know there's a lot of pressure, a lot on the line here. You know what? Even if they do not make it here, Niptro, they're still going to last chance. But then you got to be top 2. You got to qualify now. Otherwise, it's going to be so much harder for you to actually make it to Bangkok for these grand finals.
It just is so difficult from here on out. And if you thought, you know, group stage was hard, last chance is going to be even worse, because now you've got all those teams in last chance just desperate. You think these teams are playing hard now? Wait till we get to last chance, because that is the end of the line for the majority of the teams. There are so few slots left once we get over there that those teams just gonna be having a really hard time to do anything, I think. So we'll see what happens when it comes to that. So I wouldn't want to be in those shoes, in that place, in that position. So really these last two games coming up, it's do or die, because man, I don't want to be in last chance if I were them.
That's a fact, right? For those guys that don't know, we got Group Red coming to happen the day after tomorrow, right? And we're gonna have some monster squads joining the fray of last chance. That's for sure, right? So I mean, that's the last position you want to put yourself in. So looking at those leaderboards again, mathematically, for a possibility, just a slide, you know, wide shot, it's 9th place. Okay, 9th place could have a shot into top 3. And the way that happens, again, GOAT cannot put up a single point. They would need at least 15 elimination chicken dinner, right? That's a lot of things to happen. And the problem with this, again, and this is why I was saying this, Max, right? And Neptura.
Yeah.
That last game, you know, you have so many teams that need so many points. They're going to be going crazy, pushing everything. So, man, you got to be able to do it in this game, at least in my opinion, Neptura.
Yeah, it's gonna be something that you really just need to get your head on straight for these Miramars, Jukes, because this is the last chance.
Well, you know what? I want to hear from Jafar from GS. Let's see what 7 has to say from this guy in their last match of the day, possibly.
Welcome to a quick report with the 7WG. I'm joined by none other than GS Jafar. Yesterday, you had one of the best performances. You ended up getting 9 eliminations, a 4th place finish. Now with currently just 3 points away from top 11, what is the mentality going into Miramar?
انت بارحه بميرامار يعني ابدعتوا ما شاء الله عليكم. هسه انتوا 3 نقاط من توب 11. شنو تفكيرك لما اتجاه هاي الميرامار بالنهايه؟
والله شوف، مو بس ميرامار، اليوم من بدايه الجيم عقليتنا انه مو بس انه توب 11 عشان نحاول نجيب لنا جيم حلو ونتاهل، بس الحمد لله راح نحاول نركز بقيومتنا، نحاول نلعب مثل البارحه وان شاء الله نقدم اداء حلو.
It's not just Miramar. We're today with a completely different mindset. We're aiming to actually make top 3. But it doesn't seem very likely. So more likely we're aiming just to make it to top 11. We're doing really well in the previous maps, and we think we can continue that momentum.
Well, hey, I like that mentality. At first, you guys were aiming for top 3. Top 3 teams are playing lights out. That turned out to be unlikely. Top 11, it's almost right there. I'm hoping you guys can make it. Thank you so much, brother. Back to y'all.
Top 11.
Yeah, top 3 is a little too far away for GS, but last chance is still right there. Okay, well, we're going into Miramar, Max, right? Yes. I like what you said. I think GOAT should change up their drop location. I know you're very familiar with the drops here in Miramar, okay? If that's the case, where would you want to see GOAT drop? How about that?
I think I gave a few options earlier. You got Ruins, Campo Militar, Tierra Bronca. Prison was a bit of a meme pick, to be honest. I don't mean that one seriously.
Yeah.
But you got a lot of northern positions. Even the trash loot around water treatment wouldn't be a bad option. I think northern side here, Niptura, would be the best option because a lot of the lobby is or central or more focused around Chumacera, Los Leones. Those positions are heavily just cluttered with teams at this point. So yeah, northern side, I would say not a bad shout for GOAT team.
Yeah, I'd also avoid anything near the teams that are coming for you, right? Alter Ego in particular do an El Hazahar truck stop split, as we've seen in the past. So for that, you're talking about the northern side. I completely agree. Just stay away from the northeastern side. Maybe some ruins, maybe something over there would be a lot better.
Didn't we have... sorry, my memory is... it's coming back to me. Didn't we have a hot drop, Gen G versus GOAT Team in Hacienda de Patron Day 1?
That's right. That's right, we
did. That was their first
win,
right?
we see that again, right? No way.
Bro.
There's no way GOAT risks it.
Maybe?
I mean, but the thing is that if GOAT...
kind of cool.
And that's the thing, is that if GOAT does it, and they win it, I mean, that could be it. Here and now.
It's done.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I actually wouldn't hate it. They got enough of a gap, Jukes. They could risk it in this game and then come back in Miramar. I think they might just have enough of a gap to maybe make that play.
I said that for the memes. I can't believe you guys are like, actually, yes. I was just like, it happened once. Don't do it, please. If you're listening, it was a bad idea.
But they might.
A party in Hacienda. That is what I want to see for sure. Well, guys, you know the leaderboards. You know which teams need to perform. We're headed to the desert here. Last 2 matches of the day. Are we going to see that hot drop? Thank you, John. I know you want to. That's for sure.
If there's one thing I love, it's a hot drop on Miramar. It's brilliant. I have no complaints about them, ever. I think it's the best thing that's ever happened when 2 teams sit in Picardo for 15 minutes. Wow.
I hate it, personally. It's horrible.
Oh, yeah.
But you are right. There is definitely chance for some hot drops. But to be honest, at this point in time, it's starting to feel like Group Green is winding to a close already with GOAT getting the amount of points they did, the amount of teams chasing. I think it's difficult to catch them up. There's basically this outside chance of a team needing 2 really
second last match of Group Green. अपन यहाँ 8 points पीछे 14वें नंबर पे 13वें नंबर पे भाई
which fortunately a
हमको
lot
अच्छा
of
गेम
teams
बनता है
are towards that 100
अगर ये गेम हम
range.
हार गए बंद
Towards the bottom of the tables is probably
10
the
point नहीं है
more
बंद कर
interesting
तो बंद ही
aspect of it all. I think we can
पर क्या पता लास्ट
focus
में
in on the top 3 after next game if a team starts to chase.
Yeah, I think that's a totally reasonable outlook to take going into the final 2 matches into the Miramar set. The last potentially of the year for some of these teams, for 5 of our teams. They won't be playing it a tournament again until the new year.
Oh.
The circle, okay. It's not dramatic here. And to be fair, we've had our fair share of dramatic circles. We had 2 military islands back to back. So fair enough. We got a little bit more sane on this one.
Okay, Alter Ego versus Sup हो सकता है क्या?
South side, it's a very easy playing path into a very easy circle. Papra Supermassive are dropping here. I think Inner Circle, like we say, are the closest, but even then, what is that? 25 points behind. Require GOAT to go down early twice. They are on that north side towards Hacienda. There's no hot drops happening there. The closest really is this between Papra Supermassive and Alter Ego. But even then,
I see Picardo
send out and get away. I think every team's trying to maximize their chances to get in. Loops is that marker, and they have been that marker for a very long time now in 11th place. GS chasing just 3 measly points behind. It's also wild to me that all the way down in 9th place,
10वें 11वें 12वें
is still.
अरे डॉक ने खुद को फिनिश कर लिया?
Sorry?
हैं?
Why did Doc?
अबे जामी ने भी खुद को फिनिश कर लिया?
What's GOAT? Hello. I feel like there's something going on.
Oh, it's a rehost.
This can't be right.
Absolutely a rehost. Yeah.
It's got to be a rehost. There's no way that this is just happening, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
अबे भाई.
Okay. All right.
क्यों अबे ये rehost के reason जानना भी मेरे को.
Okay. Interesting.
That's okay. Wow. That was a little nerve-wracking for a second. Yeah, they'll start to name themselves out. Very clear that is what is going on. As soon as the second team started to do it, I thought, okay, yeah, definitely. We'll hopefully be told what is going on as soon as possible.
But यार ये ऐसे अचानक से भाई एक बंदा सुसाइड कर रहा तो rehost थोड़ी करवा देंगे.
We'll be getting back into game pretty soon-ish. But it being Doc, I was like, I didn't put it past Doc to do something odd, right? Luckily for us, get straight back into things. We can see here, I mean, teams are worried, right? I mean, Tiama's definitely worried of where they're going to end up. It's a stressful one getting into that game. You know, you've all had all this pent-up tension to now suddenly this position where you got to get a restart. A lot of that adrenaline is out the window.
Yeah, it's.
I
mean, we'll see if the circle's as friendly as it was this time around, right? Like, that's what we were looking at. We're thinking about, okay, the circle's kind of chill. It seems to be okay. Everything's fine. Sure. This is when the circle goes out to the East Islands, right? It's after a game like this, or a Partona, right? We'll see if we'll get some crazy shenanigans unfolding very soon. Reject looking to fix their issue. I believe we are going to be going back over to the analyst desk fairly shortly to give a little bit more breakdown on the proceedings before we get stuck into Miramar. It's not just yet. So the hot drop's not going to happen just yet, Hot Jukes. I know you really wanted it. I know that was your favorite thing. You absolutely love it, but we've denied it on this time around. But guys, do you think it'll be the same this time around?
Let's see and find out. You know, apologize, of course, for the technical delays, you know, but we got it going on right now, you know. So the good thing that we have when it comes to this little reset, you know, is that we got a glimpse of where teams are landing. You know what I'm saying? So we got a nice little psych that happened. We know that GOAT were in Hacienda del Patron right there, right? So super interesting that we got to see, but man, right? A little bit more extra tension before these last two games. You love to see it here, Max.
Yeah, I mean, I was a little bit shocked what was happening, and so I was like, the elimination feed, no. So
I was like,
I was like, okay, no, the doc prank is done, you know, no Nitro APG prank. But yeah, a little rehost here, all fine, going to give these teams a little bit ample time to prepare for this match on Miramar. But yeah, from what I was seeing right at the start of that game, Hot Jukes, we didn't see any big hot drops who were like actually going to have a massive impact on the storyline. So for me, we're going to see a very similar thing here going on to the actual first Miramar. No prank, no.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, you know, man, I'll tell you what, you know, when this happens, it definitely just gets teams, I think, possibly even rethinking things a little bit longer. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about you guys. I'm super superstitious. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if I'm there in Thailand, and I'm like, no, let's just play a regular game. And then, you know, we get a little rehost happening. I'm like, it's a sign. We gotta hunt him down, guys. Like, we gotta do it right now. What do you think? Is it just me?
Yeah, no, yeah, maybe. I mean, John was saying also that's the game we usually get an island finish on the east side. I don't know, you guys have some.
There's one player. It's Gedrox who's kind of
PUBG PC का भी तो global championship चल रही है.
He is really, really close, specifically to Heaven. Heaven playing this so patiently is going to go for the toss. Steps away and spins it back around. He got the knock on the hell of my bad. Beautiful throw.
That is so well done there. Now he can throw some stuns. He knows other players had angles on him, so just let loose. Give him the barrage, but look out, here comes Gedrox from behind.
Just spraying him down. Gedrox retreats, uses some type of shrubbery for cover. Guman, DL trying to hold different angles, and at the distance, it's going to be Salute providing covering fire, but Gedrox, he has to hold this angle. He has to play it safe. Heaven's actually trying to crawl a bit further forward to see if he can spot out where Gedrox is going to be playing from.
Yeah, now they know he's right behind that shield. Gonna use a stun there with a Groza behind it. Very weak as Gedrox. Couldn't get a first aid through. Might not have any left.
I mean, Gedrox needs support from the other members for Namiga. They have some angles that they can provide some support from, and it looks like they have Guman away. So Guman's going to go ahead, move further down to the southwest to see if he can move up the lip of the hill. Spots out a new angle. Good read. Very clean from Guman.
All right, Guman has a bunch of frag grenades. DL has a ton. Just let him fly. It's actually all in DL's hands. Excuse me. He's got all 5. Just let him fly. As soon as you get the opportunity there. Oh, nice knock on to Levante for DL.
Just playing the angles slow and steady. It's just a trade. Feeding information, opening up a new angle for somebody else to play. Freaks are just making Namiga dance to the tune that they want. Freaks had it quiet day 1, but day 2, really good so far.
Yeah, now you can double up, have a Groza right on the front line to lock Nemiga in, and this should be very difficult for them as the circle wears down. A little bit of damage done to DL. They've been keeping him in check, but they haven't been able to go for a mate.
My bad's just gonna get I get more aggressive with it. Just gotta run down the face. Those shields from Nemiga though causing a lot of trouble. See the Freaks keep going for these jack-in-the-box plays, but can't find it. Salut's actually moved aggressive onto the sideboard. Levante gets spun out human, but it's quick exchanges. Freaks coming out on the better side of it.
Yeah, Heaven there, a nice position, able to react. Hello, my bad. Goes back into the smoke to try and survive a little bit longer. He's out in the open, and he's down, he's out. It's gonna be the Freaks who take Tego.
Big game.
आया भैया अपने
Step things
आ गया भैया आ गया चलो भाई जय बाबा की लॉन्डो 15 पॉइंट्स का गेम निकालना है अपन को आना है टॉप 10 हो जाए भाई 5 ही हो जाए
silly amount. I think they're able to get 20 points in the end to close out that game. Still more to be gathered here, but we'll take a look in with the leaderboard when it does pop up on the screen shortly. It's so crazy that everyone has been. It's very, very competitive Group Green, honestly. It's a scary lobby. Whoever chose these groups is really quite mean.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, Group Red will be interesting. Hey, Blank, I think we're going to Bartona this game. Pretty sure. 100% going to go all the way down south.
यहाँ मिनास तेल वाला जोन है क्या है?
I wouldn't mind it. It's
Minas del Valle.
You know, Minas del Valle, Chumacera in general is pretty difficult. Alter Ego, this time up against Papra Supermassive in close range. One player very low, looks to head upstairs, still dancing around, has a gun to work with. But just a couple of shots from Rosemary, and he's whiffing here.
Rosemary's figured out exactly what he's got. Nico, I mean, it looked like he had a bandage there, maybe a stim. He was able to pop. Rosemary certainly has some healing on, but a full med kit here is huge for Rosemary. To be able to get all the way back up to full HP, this is a massive advantage. Drops down.
भाई reload ना जाए Rosemary. अरे भाई क्या? अरे finally.
He's not quite tagging on 12 rounds.
भाई finally.
A couple of them, 3
अरे Alter Ego कह रहा हूँ मैं.
Rosemary picks up a crucial point here against Papra Supermassive. I mean, I said we weren't going to focus on the top 3, but Alter Ego, they want it. They want it desperately.
I mean, to be honest, Alter Ego having issues that last game, which is why we did have that reset, where they're able to effectively get away from Papra Supermassive to a very stressful start here versus Papra. But Rosemary, absolute legend in the game, able to get it done versus Nico, who is also a very, very good player, by the way. So 2 extremely strong fraggers going face to face. Alter Ego do get alive, do get away with it alive. But 82 points for GS. I was highlighting that just beforehand, but it's only 3 points to go. It's not many. This is Loops' time to kick the old engine into gear, because it's been very slow today to get off this marker, consistently being in the danger zone.
That's really unpleasant of a place to be. I mean, yeah, it's 10th and down that are in danger here in these last 2. Losing players, losing points, losing opportunities is big news for the teams at that lower side. D+, I mean, they're fairly split right now. Osal is on his own, picking up a pan. I mean, if another player from Papra Supermassive goes down here as well, that is going to be real bad news. I don't think Kamikaze knows there's a player on the inside, or actually maybe he does here, knows what building he's in, but they're going to regroup and get out of there. So see if they can stay alive, keep everyone now that they have remaining in this match. They definitely need it. I mean, they're right at the back of the pack chasing. They're just ahead of the pack. Though have laid a trap.
Oh, तार भी दिया.
No, do a lot of damage, but it's actually Nolbu to find Tron B out in the open, and Papra Supermassive are bleeding.
Yeah, now we can put it this way: is that Papra Supermassive, their run's done. So we'll be seeing them in last chance now. You go down to 2 players this early on Miramar, you are not finding a lot of points. And in 98, it is a tall order from them. Even in the next game, I think it would be mathematically impossible to make it in towards the top 3.
Let's say mathematically
impossible. I think we can count them out now as a team trying to chase for those top 3 spots.
Yeah, it would be so they'd need to, you know, wipe half the lobby themselves in the next match to be able to even think about getting up into 3rd place, and even then that relies on GOAT not doing a thing in this match. So we'll have to see
GOAT क्या है?
Just what they could do. But I mean, just solidify yourself, right? Play for those small ball games. If you get 10 more points
अबे अपना देश हर जगह क्यों अबे
you will be
क्रिकेट में तो अपन बेस्ट हैं.
Pamper Supermassive, that might be what they're looking
क्रिकेट में हम
for.
सच
Anywhere over that 100-point boundary generally is what
जब
we
तक
said
अपने
feels very
बंदे खेल रहे हैं रोहित
safe,
शर्मा
right, for not getting bumped down into the full elimination from PMGC. And right now, it's not the greatest of company there, right? With Team Secret getting 24 points only. Yeah, bad time for them. Reject, who tried their best today, and Tiamba, who out of nowhere had a little bit of a comeback. They're sort of in a possible launchpad position. So I think for this game, Tiamba and Reject, this is where we can count them out or start to really consider them and have the team start to fear them.
Yeah, again, you
okay,
do have a situation where
Team Secret.
This is Last Chance Saloon. This game, everything
relies पीछा कर रहे हैं विजगॉड का नहीं भाई नहीं अबे नहीं यार
it's this one which will enable match 6 to happen. For OG again, if WizGod gets taken out of the vehicle here, now their life becomes a lot harder, but they still have next game to work with over towards top 11. But for the
best का आरजीबी तो हार ही रहे हैं. टेस्ट आज का जीत रहे हैं वनडे.
This match is so important. I think Tiamba had just a crazy run over on Erangel to set things up here, and it really will be some of those final moments to get this done.
अरे यार टीम सीक्रेट ने मेरे को लग रहा है कि पकड़ के पीछा किया है कि हम क्वालीफाई हो नहीं रहे तो इनको भी नहीं करने देंगे.
It's really tough stuff from front to back here on the engagements. Teams now moving their way down to the southwest side, around Los Leones, where we saw Team Secret just there, along with OG. Moving down north, actually, it's only GS who are still up on the north side of this circle, north of El Pozo. Everybody else crammed in now to the hills to the southwest of Chumacero. Actually, Papa Supermassive did send over to Bartona.
Oh, अरे भाई close भाई क्या होता रहा है ये?
That's one way to try and earn a lot of points, even as a duo.
Indeed. He's got to live it out, really. D+ still looking to breach over the top side of Alpha Gaming. Themselves up in number 1, where they used to be, is number 1. And doing it by 1 or 2 points would really rub salt in the wounds, considering that's exactly what they did to Regnum Kaya last year. A nice central position right now from Reject, John. I think they can play. It's a bit of a split, but they're waiting for zone 2. We know that is a really big shrink on the circle. So for this kind of split, it's absolutely fair play by Reject on the center.
नीचे वाला ही zone है भाई. कहाँ यार TS से मारे
if they can earn the points for it though.
अरे बहन की.
Just about to pop. Okay, we're not going to Partona, but we are going to Bayo de Mar. These hills are really very dangerous. APG sit atop them. Falcons are going to regroup. 9ZG taking the town by storm. And the Wolves crunching in from the north, from Ladriera. So, who's going to join them? Who's going to be able to push on through? And that central position for Reject is basically taken away immediately.
It's a bit unfortunate for Reject there. Being so split to try and get a position to then have to move over towards this portion of the map, which we actually haven't seen a lot of here at PMGC. I don't even think during Gauntlet, this is the first time we'll really see this position of the map. I know OG actually has a pretty good hold down towards the eastern side of La Tierra, but they're quite far from this one, and taking that position is going to be difficult. GS though, rotating in from that west side, should be able to get a nice-ish position, but there's so many teams looking to get towards Minas da Valle.
Head down towards that southwest side. I mean, GS making their way on the west point. Loops now taking that Ladriera hill. APG
okay, पहले दिलवार में तो भाई सड़ हो गई है.
Up the top on the high ground, big dogs of the lobby. They have shown weaknesses though, and will this be one of them? It's not going to matter really too much for them either way. They're locked in those top spots. There's no way that 2 teams will be, or 3 teams rather, will be able to jump up on over. It might be a question of who's first and who has those bragging
Okay,
rights
APG
going
versus
in,
IC. Okay. Palak ने spot कर लिया.
For now, it's more important for them just to chill out, have a good time, learn as much as they can about all these other teams that they may well very be facing in those grand final stages. IC, they had that fight with GOAT in the last game where they just weren't quite able to hold out on their compound. GOAT were successful on the crash, and that's really what allowed GOAT to get that chicken dinner, right? If IC had got that chicken dinner, this is a very different match, but now they sit not quite 30 points behind Blank. They're 25 behind, but a big game here. They can take APG down on the hilltop. I mean, it could be for IC.
I mean, they are the closest. Like you said, we go losing one player. It's a good opportunity to make it happen. Good as any.
Okay, drop it down here.
In a fairly central spot right now. Alter Ego are on a long.
IC तो फिर अब नहीं आ रही. अरे यार आरो कहाँ डाइन हो गया भाई?
From Alpha. Sadly, OG moving versus Genji. He's over towards Falak as well, which is not the player you want to lose.
Not in a moment like this. Definitely not. They'll be missing him sorely.
अपन कहाँ है? अबे भाई ये क्या रोटेशन है यार? ऊपर से आना
Next
था.
circle coming through as well.
ऊपर ही जाएगा. ऊपर ही जाएगा. ऊपर से ही आना था. हम इधर क्यों आए भाई? नीचे क्यों आए हम? अरे यार मैं तो सोच रहा था ऊपर से करेंगे रोटेशन. अब तो
D plus.
I think RO भी फिनिश हो गया ना.
And over towards that bridge. I wouldn't be too
वापस जोन का डैमेज लेके वापस जा सकते हैं. अभी फोर्थ जोन है. भाई मैं तो चाहता हूँ वापस जाएं लेकिन ऊपर जाएं.
Supermassive are going to take shots. They're coming in right on the south side here. This is interesting. Rotate coming through from D plus Kia. Papa Supermassive getting ahead of them though is a big deal. Yeah, this is the team that D plus has been chasing down almost all game, which feels pretty rough for these poor guys. To assault towards the top side of the lobby, it's just not happening. More damage pouring in. Now Wolves looking to finish the job here. He got consistently playing split from the rest of the team. He does survive far out towards the end, but I think sometimes he doesn't provide enough support to the team by the time that they need a regroup. Not quite with them. Go lose Kraken. Ooh. That's to Jafar. Just start to put some points on the board potentially.
I mean, this is big news for the bottom of the tables, right? But it's also big news for the top of the tables. If GOAT goes down here, and right now they are split from their reses with a lot of nades in hand for GS, every single one of them carrying some ordnance there. If GOAT go down here, that stops the third place bubble dead in its tracks and will make it a little bit easier for the teams chasing. And if GS get the points, they're chasing down loops too. D plus getting on over the bridge. Would be nice to hold up the top there, but I mean, it's really difficult to keep this one under control with the number of positions on the hill to this northeast side that Osal's looking towards.
Trigger control देख, trigger control देख. अरे भाई,
they're just using it to leapfrog, and Osal might even be
भाई कहाँ घुस गए ये?
for it as well. They're crashing in. They know that
भाई trigger control भाई कहाँ घुस गए? Wolves को वैसे थपड़ा दिया.
Not this time around. Not a repeat of Erangel, and now it's just Batten on
the
inside. And guess who's
best भाई, best.
It's Igor.
भाई last year की champion है यार 2024 पर.
Crazy setup coming through.
Crazy setup भाई. क्या पढ़ा लिखा?
You have Osal on the bridge, and he's calling that I have the shot and I'm going to get the knock, and the rest of D plus trust him. That's the only way that they are that fast towards this fight is if they trust him to get that knock and they sail in.
भाई अंधा रश भी नहीं कर रहे.
Wolves had absolutely no time.
अंधा रश भी नहीं कर रहे भाई.
I think for Igor, this is one of the few times where
भाई सीखो भाई Indian सीखो भाई.
Because that push was insane.
We're seeing a couple of nades flying in as well on that southwest side. Blank GS and GOAT still at loggerheads. Batten is besieged beneath on the ground floor.
भाई कर दिया ना.
Shotgun shells flying. There was a double nade over in the GOAT.
भाई कितने नेड यूज किए एक बंदे को मारने के लिए? कितने नेड यूज किए भाई?
Hello? Looking for the swivel. GS still giving it a good go, and that is GOAT down. They will fall short on this one. So a non-moving target now. 133 for our teams chasing. It's too far out of reach maybe for this match, but put yourself next door for the next one and see what you can find. Not only that, but Blank GS 11th place loops. What do you got?
चलो भाई अपने आए कुछ मस्त रखे उस पे अपन ठीक जगह हैं अपन अच्छी जगह हैं बट मैं चाहता था ना कि अपन यहाँ से वापस जाते चुम्मा सेरा पूरा घूम के हम ऊपर से आते अब ले सकते थे अभी फोर्थ जोन ही यार अपन का हो सकता था बट अब गिर गए यार मैं चाहता ना ऊपर से आते ना मजा आता
OG still at 3, so despite all the shenanigans happening on the eastern side, they were able to slowly push their way through.
देखते हैं जोन का बनता है.
Still just not a pleasant zone, this one though. The valley that sits right down the middle is so polarizing on this next circle shift. I mean, the eastern side is slightly better, arguably, but I mean, it's a tough argument, even at that, right? Like, you've got Minas de Valle sat right on the southeast side, a little bit further north. The compound, obviously, by OG, those two positions. There's that road that sits in like a river.
अरे भाई, Loops को mega kill.
Loops finding Wolves, last player there. That puts Wolves back. Loops back.
भाई Loops को point नहीं मिलने चाहिए यार. Loops को point नहीं मिलने चाहिए.
That's Alter-Ego chiming in, and D+ takes down a lot from GS. So just as the door opens, it's suddenly closed by one of the best teams in the lobby, D+.
D+ की है best है भाई. इनसे अच्छी मैंने कोई नहीं
देखा. These western roads, yeah, I mean, doing very well.
Doing so much work, but they do have to leave for D+. Their road forwards is going to be fraught with danger, I'm sure. The Falcons are a little bit ahead of them, but they've lost a player before as well. Papra Supermassive, they've still got their 2, and they found themselves a ditch. How will they be able to survive this one? You've got to wonder. Luke's taking damage. I mean, they've kept GS out by just a breadth of a hair. But if they go down here to Alter-Ego, I mean, OG would love that. That would be brilliant news. To be able to find that opening.
GS और Loops दोनों मर जाए मजा आएगा.
In their central position.
GS और Loops दोनों मर जाए मजा आ जाएगा भाई. वो लास्ट बंदा बचा है उसको डी के देख लेगी. जफार बचा है GS का. ढूंढ रहे हैं उसको ढूंढ रहे हैं.
Extremely important to a lot of teams. It's pretty awkward over towards the eastern side anyway. Although Tiemba looks like they've got a okay spot to play around with. Getting assaulted on that location of the map is going to come through thick and fast because a lot of people will want that location. So anytime there's a third party up there, Tiemba better be ready to rebuff any other teams coming their way.
Alpha Gaming versus Team Secret.
It's a slow game.
अपने बंदे चुप लेटे हुए हैं क्या? बस मर ना जाएं. लेटे पड़े ठीक है, बस मर ना जाएं. अगर ये 10 पॉइंट गेम निकल आया ना भाई, हम आ सकते हैं टॉप
southeast side. And it is this next shift which will determine how the rest of the game plays out.
Please.
That would be the worst circle. I feel like a north shift.
ये वाला कंपाउंड मिल जाता यार और ऊपर से आते.
It's kind of the worst case scenario. It could be a little bit further northeast.
भाई बसड़ है. अल्फा गेमिंग आएगी, टीम सीक्रेट आएगी, ऊपर से आईसी मारेगी. बसड़ है. फुल बसड़ है भाई. बहुत मारना पड़ेगा.
9Z, you've got Gen G, APG, Team Secret, all now needed to push forwards from that south side, and they have to pick one of west or east. It is so nasty out there.
Yeah, it's not easy. I mean, for Alter-Ego, they actually get a blessing here. We're moving over towards that north side. Cuts a lot of their position in. There is a small location over towards the north side of them with buildings that they can play from.
बीच में से निकल जाओ, सुप भाई खाली है.
They're more concerned at भागो. Trying to get in from that western side.
भाई सीधे भाग लो सुप भाई. भाग लो.
As well as D+. Papra Supermassive, hats off to them. They have had such a tough game.
भाई सेंटर में लगा के लेट गए.
Louise right now in that car. Actually able to get the repair on it. Okay, fair enough.
भाई सेंटर में लगा के लेट गए वो तो.
To PUBG Mobile and
उन्होंने कहा हमारा हो गया जी.
Play quite well for them.
तुम देख लो जी अपना.
I mean, there's one vehicle. You know, this baby can pack a lot of Papra Supermassive players and lives to tell the tale.
जफार भाई अकेले. इनकी रहने की मैं देखता हूँ. मैं देखता हूँ उनको. मैं देखता हूँ Alter-Ego को. आवाज आ गई.
Gonna go with them to the very end, and they'll be sad to see it blow up in flames.
उधर से डी के देख लेगा. I think डी के वो साल को दिख जाएगा.
Thought Jafar might get the drop on Alva, but the wits were about him. Probably more preoccupied down towards D+ though. Actually,
ओके 9ZZ मर गई, बहुत ही बढ़िया भाई अपने लिए। नंबर 10 की टीम मर गई है, ये बचा बस। नंबर 10 की टीम मर गई।
Because neither team's going to drop down and crash the other one just yet. It's probably going to be more into loops, and I mean, what a way to test your bubble skills right now than have players crash up on you. Falcons going to feel the brunt of it.
नंबर 10 की मर गई और 11 उसकी 11 की और 12 की 11 की 4 बंदे बच गए।
And he gets the first on the Norbu, and Narvalo with 2 now as well. It will look for the
भाई Falcons वापस चल गई भाई।
with a nade from Redox and Falcons. Just pretend.
अपन ठीक जगह हैं, बट अपन पे 2 टीम आएंगी और दोनों टीम मतलब कौन सी अल्फा गेमिंग और टीम सीक्रेट।
I love the push from T+, but yeah, I think that it was a very aggressive play, and they have been disrespecting the lobby all over the place today. Finally, Narvalo steps up with a DBS. Great double from him.
Team secret भी है.
Look to take position off the back of this one. The fight was very quick though going through for the Falcons, so they got a nice reset on this, and it is a 3v3. Sadly, Narvalo's down. It's down to Koa and Ralph on the top side, but Koa whiffs the initial DBS. X12K, sorry. And Redox is out of ammo.
Oh no. It's just nothing they could do. One hold.
ले नॉक हो गया अपना, डायरेक्ट डॉक नहीं नॉक किया, मैंने अल्फा गेमिंग आएगी।
The Falcons
हो गया
draw short of the mark. That means that very likely they are going to be looking in towards the last chance stage at 30 31
आगे अल्फा ये देख रहे
हो with it potential.
ये वाला कंपाउंड खाली था, मैं स्टार्टिंग में बोला था कि अगर उधर से रोटेशन नहीं अब ये रहे ना, ये रहे ना, हाँ ओपन खत्म है,
into that last chance, but they're doing all right. Again, this circle
खत्म है, आरू पे गया खत्म
this road
हो गया,
valley.
done GG's.
And actually Papa is supermassive.
Well,
okay, maybe not Papa supermassive.
You've cursed them there. You've absolutely cursed them there.
Okay.
Team secret versus IC.
And you should be ashamed.
बगली है.